You're fired.
Lowered expectation.
What in the all types of blue hell? Get yourself ready for a minstrel show.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to the Colosseum. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Today, as the title states, we're going to be talking about President Donald Trump's first 100 days. And he's had his ups and downs. His poll numbers are in the toilet. But none of that matters because the Democrat poll numbers are still in the toilet. Democrat poll numbers are still worse than his. And quite frankly, Donald Trump's poll numbers have always been in the toilet. So, yeah. But we plan to have a fun show today. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. And we have plenty to talk about tonight. Let's see here. Nobody's. There he is. We have the snowman in the building.
Hey.
With a
What's
picture
going
of his
on?
lovely wife next to him.
Yep. That's my beauty.
You want to talk about the crash out now? The
Which one?
bronze sexual crash out.
Hit it.
Oh my god!
I'm up here.
I gotta find it first, shit. But yeah.
Now, wait a minute, folks. I will say that's not the only bronze sexual crash out that I saw on video.
Really?
Which is also not the only one I've seen gulp in person.
Oh, really? Damn. That bad, huh?
Dude.
For those of you who don't know, and there's a reason I have this title of sports, the Lakers got eliminated. Was it Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Got eliminated Wednesday. So naturally, the bronze sexuals, as Snowman calls them, crashed out.
They went nuts.
In fact, let me go ahead because I can always I like to keep my my share on one tab.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to swap it out all the time.
Right.
Let's see. Let me
Now, folks, mind you, when AB showed me this video,
he found the whole clip.
Yeah, I found the entire 75 seconds. And I will just say that Jody and I were crying from laughter.
Oh, funny story. Just a minute ago, I had to check tell me on TikTok, I'm about to block you. I was like, oh, let me help you out. I blocked her.
That deserves this song, my friend, and we just redid it this week.
Use a troll.
Yes.
Troll. Use a troll.
Troll.
Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
Yeah. I mean, she one of these man-hating motherfuckers, and I was letting a brother that, does that kind of content know about it. He's like, I blocked him. I'm going to block you too. I was like, oh, okay. Let me help you out.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Nah, I'm getting old, man. I can't listen to too much of that shit, man. You'll drive yourself crazy.
You know a button. Okay, Thursday Cole came on the show. Okay. Cole came on the show Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made the decision before he popped in to, end the show early because we were just talking shit about LeBron and the Lakers for the first hour. Then Cole showed up and basically gave us a masterclass in improv and had us laughing for an hour. And I will play one button that I wore the hell out of, and Cole had a counter for it. Because the button that I played happily was...
Now that's some bullshit.
Cole had a counter for it.
What was the counter?
He said, reach behind my backside. There's your bull. I walked away from the computer. I'll have to send you that clip of the very first time. But
that's too funny.
Cole said he loves listening to, he loves that sound that BGS did.
No, that's some
man. I must have played it for a good 30 minutes during hour 2 on Thursday.
Yeah.
Man, every time he kept saying reach behind my backside, I was on the floor. He said reach behind.
I feel the sentiment, dog. I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, some of the stuff I be hearing, like, man, that came out of my ass. Did that come out of my ass cheek? I mean, shit.
Which is exactly the message Cole was conveying. You've been on the show when Cole was with us, and how he loves, trolling the bronzexuals. When he did that, and I messed up at the end of the thing, we just said, fuck it, we're done. And I ended the show and we all walked off.
Man. But here you go.
There it is.
Bronze sexual track crash out. Damn. You can't make this shit up, folks.
You truly can't. I'm going to play this on Monday. I am going to play this on Monday.
We shouldn't be laughing at his misfortune, but I'm like, come on, baby boy. Hey, all right, let him flip out. All he's doing is hurting himself.
Man, y'all better hit my Cash App and support the show for this entertainment. Entertainment tax is in effect.
Give me a few of those too, because I found because that's the entire 75 seconds. What AB sent me was like 20 or 30 seconds long. I did a little looking, and that's the clip in its entirety.
I don't remember crashing out like that when I was that young or younger.
Listen, I've never crashed out like that over my teams when I was just a fan or as long as I've been in the profession. Never. Even when the New York Giants kicked my 49ers ass 49-3, I had my dad around to break the game down with. And plus, I love Lawrence Taylor. Okay, and Lawrence Taylor wrecked shot. Okay.
Oh my God. He's wrecking his shit up.
Listen to the song in the background.
It's Hollywood Swinging by Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time I ever...
Roll it again.
Nah, but just for a playoff update.
Wait. Thank you for saying that.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? What's it about?
Second round is almost set. We have the Thunder versus the Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Apparently Houston's gonna make it a game 7 series.
Yeah, it is a game 7 and it's tomorrow.
Wait. Hold a second. Y'all said it wrong. You meant to say game 7.
One of the only sounds I don't have loaded up yet, but there is a game 7 tomorrow in Houston. It's at 8:30 Eastern. Warriors and Rockets tied 3 games apiece. Winner of that series, I believe,
they have to go against the Timberwolves.
They get Minnesota, right? They get Minnesota.
They get the Timberwolves.
They well rested Minnesota.
They get Minnesota.
Shout out to Minnesota. They are the ones who called the crash out you just saw. Because they beat
in 5 games, folks.
Yep,
5 games. And to answer Red Pill's question, it was the New York Giants that beat my 49ers 1986 playoffs 49-3.
On
they
the
killed
side, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Indiana Pacers.
And I'm calling an upset.
Okay.
I have the Pacers taking it the distance and winning it in 7.
And we also have the New York Knickerbockers versus the Boston Celtics. Interesting.
That'll be a 4-game sweep by the Celtics.
Okay. Are we going to get sweep by the? Speaking of which, are we going to get sweep by the Celtics again?
No.
Okay.
No. Indiana.
We almost won that last game. So
Indiana. I think Indiana's a little stronger to compete with Boston.
Okay.
But I give 2 shits about the Cavaliers. I mean, listen, they got a young squad and they're doing great. But as I always say on the morning show, but it's Cleveland.
What's going on, Lewis?
Hi, Louis.
Cleveland, huh?
It's Cleveland.
Cleveland.
I trust nothing or no team coming out of Cleveland.
Yeah, well.
Really, Elmer?
Yeah, I broke out Elmer Fudd.
Cleveland. Cavaliers.
I don't like the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
That's funny.
Hey, listen, that was sung at a Bulls celebration in 1993 at Grant Park. The Superfans did a song, and they actually said Cavaliers. I was there live when it happened.
Well, there it is. But I would say this regarding about people crashing out. I remember, and I'm a soccer head. And I remember watching the '98 World Cup when France beat Brazil in the final for the World Cup. I was kind of devastated, but I was not, because I was 15. But I was like, it is what it is.
Right.
But Brazil, 4 years later, got back, and when the World Cup was co-hosted in Japan and South Korea, they met Germany in the final, and they redeemed themselves by winning it and becoming the only nation to have 5 World Cup crowns under their name.
Well, that's what a good team like that is. A good mature team like that is supposed to do. If you get upset, you come back next tournament and you beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that before. Many teams come back and redeem themselves.
You don't crash out the way we saw Dude did. Okay, you don't do that. You just take the L,
keep it moving,
and keep it moving. Exactly.
Unfortunately, some people don't see it that way. Some people get too emotional about it. That's why.
Yeah, bronsexuals. Hello.
Why would I? Hey, Snowman, can you imagine? Imagine I crash out over the Colts losing this season when they clearly sucked anyway.
Apparently, you seem to have forgotten that, and I mean, you seem to have forgotten I'm married to a Colts fan.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Baby,
no.
Will you please remember that next time?
Yeah, I deserve that one.
No, but what's funny is Jody knows what's going on with the game. She watches football with me. Okay.
Yeah.
The one game, I think it was one game. She had to do some homework, and I think that we were playing the Broncos in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
She goes into the bedroom. I'm out here in my office.
Yeah.
And I got every other microphone turned off here in my studio just in case y'all know what happens when in case she gets upset. When Anthony Richardson threw an interception, I hear this beautiful lady of mine from clear in the bedroom with the door shut go, "Oh, what the fuck was that?"
Oh dear.
I sat here in my office and laughed out loud.
Well, the woman is beautiful when she's angry. You can't blame her for that, folks.
Listen, 30 seconds later, she comes out with a big 2-foot grin on her face. And of course, now she says something else that's in our lexicon. Why aren't you calling the game right? And I'm already in a pool full of tears laughing.
You're in stitches.
I was done. When I heard her do that, I was done. Okay.
Hey, it could have been worse. I mean, imagine if it was you, if you were like calling a Bears game.
Oh,
and you hey, wait. And you had bass doing in color.
Okay.
I wouldn't last.
Exactly.
I wouldn't last. Listen, I had bass as a color commentator one year when I was covering Chicago State men's basketball. When he unleashed the word nice, I nearly put down my headset and walked off.
Oh man. Oh, Snowman. That was a good 3-point. That was the 3-point was nice.
Wow.
Nice 3-pointer.
I got that for a whole season. And
no, that block was booty.
Yeah, now let's talk about some politics for a minute.
All
and
right.
we're gonna start out with we gotta talk about Crying Jones for a little bit here.
You're out. You're out. You're out.
Sorry. Too soon. Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. But here's the reason we need to talk about Crying Jones.
Oh no!
Why do you make it sound? Why do you have to refer to him as if he's a blues singer?
Take a look. Does that answer your question?
So what was it?
That's him crying. That's him crying on election night in 2020. I just added the teardrops in there for extra effect. That is him actually crying on election night in 2020.
Oh, okay.
I saw it.
Were those tears of joy?
Hell no.
But he asked some Trump voters, some black Trump voters, do you regret your vote for Donald Trump?
He did not go there.
Oh, yes, he did. Would you like to hear what they had to say?
Let me get the right soundboard up here because I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. All right, bring it on.
Let's see what they had to say. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to the beginning.
Oh, good Lord.
And actually, I'm going to put this on.
Yeah, speed it up.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Where is it at? Yeah, play speed. We're going to put you on.
We got the Vanderbilt Trust Baby as the host.
Yes.
Started off the broadcast tonight with the president's cabinet shakeup, and that's, of course, only a fraction of what's unfolded over the last 102 days of the second Trump administration. The question is, what are voters making of it all? CNN's Van Jones has been talking to Trump supporters dating back to 2016. He is, as you know, a Democrat who is a former senior advisor to President Obama. For tonight's report, he met with a small group of black voters, a man and woman from South Carolina and another woman from North Carolina, all of whom voted for President Trump. CNN's exit polling shows Mr. Trump got 8% of the black vote in 2016, and that grew slightly into the teens over the next two elections. Here's Van's report from Greenville, South Carolina.
You do well.
And here we are in South Carolina with 3 Trump voters. You weren't always a Republican.
No. Actually, I come from a family that was like super Democratic. My first time voting, I voted Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can. Okay.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole. I like authenticity.
You vote for Obama in.
I actually like that answer. Yeah, he's an asshole. He is an asshole.
Tiger.
Given how corrupt our government is, I want an asshole running this country so they get it back in line.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Then you voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. But 2020, you voted for Donald Trump. What made the change?
I began listening to someone.
Freeze it.
Candace Owen.
Freeze it.
Yep.
What in? Give me this button here. You know what? Never mind. Roll it.
And I read her book, and it just opened my eyes to maybe he's not this person that I have been led to believe that he was.
So you voted against Trump in 2016.
Yes.
But then in 2020, you voted for him?
Absolutely.
Why?
I saw how things were going during his first term, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleased with what was happening. I saw the economy getting better. I saw country relations in certain countries getting better.
We have
What's
some
something he's doing
For me, I like the border. I just don't like the idea of someone coming here illegally and getting benefits that can serve my community. So that's the reason why I support him on that border policy.
When you think about the border, you think about people coming here who are getting more help than people who live here and who were born here.
Yeah. And I got that perspective not from news channels. I got it from social media. TikTok is like a holy grail. We even see it with the things that we learn about the United States government outside of the United States. People are showing Americans, hey, look at what's going on. Do y'all know that your government is doing this? Have you seen this? Have you looked at it from this perspective?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, people when they think about a Trump voter, they usually think about like a white dude with like a red hat on and a pickup truck, and y'all are not that at all. So Donald Trump's team went in, they took down Harriet Tubman's picture for a quick minute. They're trying to like knock out the black museums. What does that have to do with the price of eggs, and how did that impact you?
In some ways, it's a slap in the face. In other ways, I don't care. I care more about how I'm going to take care of my children.
I don't think the average American cares about that. I know I am sick and tired of seeing black people sit there and complain about something, but not taking action and steps to actually try to change things in an appropriate manner.
Under the Trump and Biden administration, they came to certain agreements with police departments to be less brutal toward the black community. Trump has now ended all that. How does that help the black community?
I have a lot of issues with police reform and just
he has the wrong person.
With how police officers are treated as a whole. My husband is currently going through the process to become a police officer. The amount of hatred that cops get, even the best ones, I think has become a huge problem because it has been, especially around election times when it definitely comes out of like, oh no, the cops are bad. The cops hate you because you're black. They're immediately deemed as evil.
This man is talking about running for a third term. Now, what do you think about that?
The third term, for me, absolutely not. I think it's at the end of these 4 years, it's time to move on.
This is a prime example of him trolling people because people have said, like, oh, if he gets in the office, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to try to run for a third term. So he's like, okay, y'all think I'm going to do that? I'm going to mess with y'all and say this to tick y'all up.
I thought you loved this man because he's so authentic and he's such a truth teller.
But you need to know the difference between somebody trolling somebody, and this is a prime example of him being a troll.
True. If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Yes, I would. Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back in time, would you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this.
She said yes. It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump? Yes or no?
1,000%, absolutely yes.
Yep.
And the Gynocracy and the Butthurt Blue are saying the following.
You know what?
Yeah.
That makes me mad.
What's up, BGS?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
I wore your button out on Thursday because Cole came aboard. As we did.
No, it was a pastor.
Annual.
It was a pastor deacon.
It was the pastor deacon came aboard for the annual end of season service. I threw everything but a sweeper at him. And then finally I looked at this board on this monitor and I said, let me throw this at him and see what he does.
Yeah.
So about 7 minutes in, I throw.
Now that's some bullshit.
He was ready.
The thing is, I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, they would get past this team because for first, that's actually the wrong team for the Lakers to play.
Well, you seen it.
Yeah,
they
you said that a few
built
weeks
the
ago.
team wrong.
You've
been saying it all year.
You seen it? Was it 2 or 3 years ago? Right?
Yep.
When they got rid of Howard.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
after they won the title, they should have kept Dwight Howard because he was their defensive anchor, and they let him go.
And let him go. You know, so what? He showed up in the at Halloween in a whatever.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, you knew about, but they knew BGS. They knew that before they got him. So
it's one thing. Okay, and Snowman can tell you because Snowman's been in the business. It's one thing to do the stuff where people can't see it. It's another thing because you got to remember, Snowman knows that pro sports is entertainment.
It is
just like what Shannon Sharp is going through right now, right?
Right.
Nobody really cares what he does in his private life, but the thing is, you don't want this stuff out in the open. And even though even though they can't prosecute him for what he did, okay, the thing is, she knew exactly what she's doing. She wanted to ruin his contract, and she waited until the ESPN contract was, what wasn't the ESPN? Who was it? It was that she offered it. It was
it Fox?
No, was it could have been Fox? I don't know, but
I think it was because he was with FS1 first.
Okay, because
then he moved to ESPN 2 years ago.
And then I don't know who's offering that $100 million.
It's ESPN, I think, but
it's
the opportune time, like you said, sir.
And it's obvious. Okay, so she tried to blackmail him. Well, she should have took the $10 million because now she gets nothing.
She ain't getting a thing. And I just said the example a moment ago, Dennis Rodman. Because Phil Jackson didn't have to bring Dennis Rodman aboard when Michael Jordan came back full time. He just told Rodman, go apologize to Scotty. They did that. 3 championships later, he's a Hall of Famer, and that's that. And he had more antics with the Bulls than he had with the Spurs.
And I think the NBA was, especially after what's his name for Philly. I think they were kind of ready. I think they're kind of ready to move that, especially after the what is it? The Michigan State
Malice in the Palace?
No, the Michigan college players, right? The with the long shorts and stuff like that. They were ready to move in that direction anyway.
Yeah, they were.
You talking about Chris Webber and them?
Chris Webber and them, yeah.
The Fab Five.
The Fab Five. The Fab Five kind of
Five
kind of changed the way people look at basketball. So
they
were already moving in that direction. So because in Detroit, Dennis couldn't do all that crap. Okay,
right?
He couldn't. He had to be that blonde hair and the lipstick. No, you're gonna do that. You got to do that in private. Okay, but they allowed him in Chicago. They allowed him to open up. So
they allowed him to open up, and they had one rule: when it's time to play, you come play. And he obeyed.
Yeah, you should have known something was different when Dennis Rodman was dressed in a wedding dress and lipstick and a horse-drawn carriage.
Yeah, that was for his book's release.
Yeah.
He did that for his book
release.
For
the book release, and Phil Jackson didn't say a thing. Next day, he flew back to Chicago. They had a home game the next day, and he grabbed 21 rebounds.
Yeah.
Hey, BGS, have you seen this meme going around talking about 100 men versus a silverback gorilla?
Yeah, people ask me about that, and I said one thing: do the men have weapons? If they got some weapons, sticks. Okay, the gorilla has no chance. But the thing is, I don't care how strong a gorilla is. Too powerful for even.
Silverback gorilla. That's not
even 100 men. Yeah, it's not even.
It's unrealistic to say 100 men without any weapons. Yeah, that's just
without weapons. Yeah, without weapons.
That's like 300-400 pounds of prime.
After the first 20 dudes, somebody gonna say, "Man, fuck that shit. Get a gun."
I mean, one punch from a gorilla is gonna cave your chest in. So it doesn't take very much. Okay.
It's taken a lot to take the weight off that I already have. No, thank you for facing a gorilla. Nope.
Well, since particularly a lot of black women want to run with this, I decided to make some.
I'm ready.
100 women versus a high value man.
How many is that with or without condoms?
Is that with or without the STD testing, for that matter?
Are you kidding me?
Fuck you, BGS. I love you, but fuck you for that response.
Yeah, well, no. AB started it.
Oh, wait a minute, that is a
not
good question.
BGS.
With or without condoms.
Without condoms. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If it was without condoms, half of them are gonna be pregnant. Okay.
Yep.
Or catch an STD.
That goes without saying. He probably have to wear the condoms to protect himself from 100 women.
Yeah.
Exactly, because they're coming after him. They'll be coming after him real quick.
60%, 62% of black women in the UK, not the United States, in the UK have HIV.
Yep.
62% of the new HIV cases are black women, and that's a small percentage of people. Okay?
Very, very small.
In the
Yeah,
UK,
100
In the
women
UK.
versus making sons high value.
Ooh, that is a very small percentage, right?
Yeah. Very, 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 very,
And
very,
for
very, very,
the
very
Very
small
small.
percentage.
and for BGS's condom question, how about some thinking time?
You are not shit. Now that's some bullshit.
You know it ain't bullshit. You know I'm right when I'm playing this.
That's why I said as soon as you say high value, 100 women versus one high value man is with or without condoms. Okay, I can tell you, if depending on how far he wants to drop down as far as levels, if he starts with the fours, that's easy because I've been there. Okay,
Yeah,
you have to run.
I know I ain't shit for this one, but 100 women versus responsible baby daddies.
You may need to add a few zeros.
What a million women versus
you may need 2 commas and a whole bunch of zeros with that shit.
He's gonna get run out of the room. Okay, that's not even a fair fight.
Jeez, boy.
Because with 70% baby mamas, they're gonna jump his ass.
Put that one back up. Hey, put that one back up. BGS, I got a present for you. You see this? This would be Jose Canseco. And every woman in this picture would be Tim Belcher throwing him a fat fastball right down the plate, and I don't have to say anything else. You know the end result of that.
Hey, tell Jody that joke about the 100 women versus high value man and the condoms and watch them fall out. He's falling off the chair right now because he can see Jody's gonna turn red behind that joke. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what? Most of the jokes, BJ, that y'all have made, because I've been hanging out with you guys every Saturday, I tell her both of us are beat red. Okay? Does that tell you anything about how in tune she is with the shit that's going on? I mean, I told her the reparations joke that you made, BGS, and we haven't stopped laughing.
Excuse me, Snowman?
Yes, sir.
First of all, you're going to have to blame BGS because, well, he triggered this thought in my head. But to bring back a certain ad from Snowman in the Morning, the shenanigans of AB Media brought to you by Black Knight Condoms. The ideal condom. The ideal condom for that big black nightstick.
With a big black nightstick.
Well, actually, it was Cole who mentioned the black nightstick.
Victor read that one. Victor read that one on the air.
Yeah,
I didn't read it that time. Victor read that one on the air.
Now, for this next segment, all I have to say is,
buckle up.
Get your salad dressing ready.
Oh no!
Get your salad dressing ready because
I'm gonna be sick.
She's back.
Oh fuck! Wait! Hold that picture. Hold that picture. This is for everybody.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Well, for some odd reason, Kamala Harris decided to do a speech on the election.
I think she was paid to do a speech at a.
Yeah, I think it was a paid speech, but here we go.
Hey, they don't work cheap. She got to make back. She's got to still make that money back.
I wonder why she hasn't been on Michelle Obama's show yet.
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for supporting Emerge. Thank you for supporting Emerge.
Yeah,
Emerge. Well, she used to be so fine.
It is so wonderful to be home and to be back with all the leaders who are here and to celebrate this extraordinary organization, which is an organization of so many exceptional.
I'll give her credit. She still got some legs.
She does still have legs.
Those who found the courage to run for office and those who support them. Emerge, I will say something you know. Throughout my entire career in life, I have always believed in the ideals of our nation. The ideals reflected in the Declaration of Independence, that all are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Ideals advanced and affirmed by the service and sacrifice
You ain't
of
shit.
generations.
No, I'm serious. You
patriots
can hear the anxiety in her
that
voice.
wields the
She
crown
has
of the
anxiety
Constitution of
disorder.
the United States, that here in our country, power ultimately lies not with the wealthy or well-connected, but with all of us, with we the people.
Let me go get my Caesar salad. I've been having a taste for Caesar salad dressing for some reason recently.
You know what's bad? I had one earlier.
She has.
Now, of course, I
anxiety
recognize that
disorder.
America has never fully lived up to these ideals, that for all the gains we've made, the American dream has for decades been slipping further out of reach for so many. And that the American people
see it in her body
deserve
language
leaders
also.
who make bigger moves
You're a
better
pro. You know, you can tell.
and make
You
our
can see it in
country
her body
stronger.
language.
But sadly, we have seen quite the opposite.
Freeze that a minute. I'll tell you
over
an
these past
exact
few
way
months.
you can tell. I'll tell you an exact way an exact way you can tell. When she was doing her campaign, no, I'll rewind further than that. When she was VP, her speeches were clipped, they were sharp, and there were hardly any pauses. When she was doing her campaign, there were a lot more pauses in there. I say between 1.5 to 2 seconds. In this few minutes alone, her pauses are between 2.5 to 4 seconds between each statement. Think of how that kind of message would come across to people that A, supported her, and B, realize the mistake.
Yeah. As you talk very slow or you talk very fast, there's no in between.
They can tell, people that show the support can tell they made the mistake, because people get me all the time when they can tell I'm sleepy when I've done 2-3 games in a day, because I'm not as clipped as I was during the second game as I was during the first game. You can tell that right now.
Yeah, well, listen to the tremor in her when you speak. Listen for the tremor in her voice. Okay, just
before you continue, hold on a second. Can you pause for a minute, please?
Now, I know tonight's event happens to
quickly name her.
You notice her hand gestures?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like does that remind you of someone?
No, I don't think so. Who?
Her the way she was had her hands up in a way like those hand gestures are similar to those of Obama.
Oh yes, that's practice. Yeah, that's
emulating Obama and stuff.
Oh, okay, that's classical. That's classical Roman pontification hand.
When she put her hands up to herself.
Coincide with the 100 days after the inauguration.
Let's talk.
And I'll leave it to others to give a full accounting of what has happened so far.
Yeah,
but
because you don't want it falling on you, do you?
Instead of an administration,
the short breasts,
working to advance America's highest ideals,
and the tremor in her voice,
we are witnessing the wholesale abandonment of those ideals.
Stop there.
And now she
sounds strong, but sounds weak as hell.
Well, I'm saying now she's starting to feature. Now she's found something she can actually grab a hold to. You can actually see it
before she even grabbed, and BGS, before she even grabbed onto that, or gentlemen, before she even grabbed onto that, did you hear something? Her voice cracked.
Yes.
Before she grabbed onto something that she thinks she can hold on to and hold her audience with. Her voice is cracked.
It's cracked. Yeah, the shakes, the cracked, stuff like that, because she's on shaky ground. She's looking. I mean, if you're giving speeches in front of people, you're looking for some kind of unless you really know the audience, okay? You're looking for some kind of steady ground to actually sit upon, so you actually get into it in something solid, right? Because when you first go in front of an audience, you're trying to feel your audience out, and sometimes unless you've done it like 100 times, it's shaky. So now she kind of feels something she can actually settle into.
And she's going to try to pull herself out of the quicksand.
Yeah, she's going to try to pull herself out of the quicksand. She's going to try to bring the emotion out, so get over the nervousness. What?
There's your audience.
And what we are also seeing.
See, she relaxed.
In these last 14 weeks is Americans using their voice and showing their courage.
See,
now that now her tremor is picking up. Now her
We all
speed is
know
picking up.
President Trump and his administration and their allies are counting on the notion that fear can be contagious. They are counting on the notion that if they make some people afraid, it will have a chilling effect on others.
This is projection 101, folks.
This is I don't know if she rehearsed it or this is something that she really believes in. But the thing is, she said this before.
Yep.
Probably in private or something like this. But she's really.
It could be a combination of both.
Okay.
She does.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her eyes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her eyes and the way she switches her focus.
Yes.
From someone who has made speeches before. I've made them in front of people. And yes, I have been nervous. I've been a play-by-play announcer for 30 years. You keep your focus, even when you are at your most nervous.
Yeah.
You keep your focus. She is until now, she has not kept her focus, and we're a good 3.5 minutes in. But that last little piece, like we said, she's trying to pull herself out of quicksand. She's found something she can hang her head on to. She got the audience response, albeit light. She got the audience response.
What they're overlooking, what they have overlooked, is that fear is not the only thing that's contagious. Courage is contagious.
See that smile? She's not nervous. She's not as nervous anymore.
The courage of Americans who are banding together in the face of the greatest man-made economic crisis in modern presidential history.
See how she's picked up her pace now?
Americans.
Yeah, I got over 50 watching. Like, share, subscribe, hit my Cash App, pin to the top, support the show. Hit the super chat, support the show. The BTS tax is in effect.
Yeah, Shaka Khan said something like that, right? So Shaka Khan said, even though she's a great performer, right? She said she had to take a couple drinks, and what they would have to do is give her something fast that you wouldn't have to focus on, right? It's automatic, and to actually get her situated into being in front of the crowd, right? So the nerves will actually evaporate. And once she got relaxed, then they can go into other songs, right? But they had to have something that she knew very well that would get the crowd into it and would get her settled.
That's something that I was taught. I didn't use drinks or everything, but my first ever speech teacher taught me two basic things. Find someone that you can focus on. Something that you can focus on. And before you start, take a deep breath, because it's going to take you a bit to get relaxed and get going. It's taken her even longer to get relaxed.
The political spectrum, who are declaring that the president's reckless tariffs hurt workers and families by raising the cost of everyday essentials.
It did.
Devastate the retirement accounts that people spent a lifetime paying into, and paralyze American businesses, large and small, forcing them to lay off people, to stop hiring or pause investment decisions. The courage of Americans we are seeing who are rallying at Social Security offices to protect their hard-earned benefits. Of Americans who are speaking out to say, it is not okay to violate court orders. Not okay. Saying it is not okay to detain and disappear American citizens or anyone without due process.
There she goes.
Are they American citizens though? That is the question.
The courage of judges to uphold the rule of law in the face of those who would jail them.
Now she's in her wheelhouse.
Of universities that are defying unconstitutional demands that threaten the pursuit of truth and academic independence.
Yep, she's feeling it now.
Now she's gonna let it all flow. Now she's in her wheelhouse.
And I will tell you, the courage of all these Americans inspires me. And I have been inspired by the movements like the one in Wisconsin that put Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court. By the State of the People Power Tour that is aiming to ignite a grassroots movement to lift up voices and advance freedom and justice. And by leaders across the spectrum including congressional leaders like Cory Booker, Chris Van Hollen, Chris Murphy, Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell Frost, AOC, and Bernie Sanders.
Keep my name out your mouth,
All in
Kamala.
different ways have been speaking with moral clarity about this moment. So here's one of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight and to highlight. So look, some people are describing what's been happening in recent months as absolute chaos. And of course, I understand why. And it's certainly true of those tariffs. Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
You predicted that?
But friends, please let us not be duped into thinking everything is chaos. I know it may feel that way.
So is that why countries are coming, over 100 countries are coming to the table to renegotiate how they do tariffs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know, this is just propaganda. So you got to do good propaganda.
But understand, what we are in fact witnessing is a high velocity event where a vessel is being used for the swift implementation of an agenda that has been decades in the making. An agenda to slash public education, an agenda to shrink government and then privatize its services, all while giving tax breaks to the wealthiest among us. By the way, an agenda that is not lowering costs, not making life more affordable, and not what they promised. It's an agenda, a narrow, self-serving vision of America.
There's the name calling.
And rent prices went down under Joe Biden and your administration? Yeah, right. Okay.
They punish truth tellers, favor loyalists, cash in on their power, and leave everyone to fend for themselves, all while abandoning allies and retreating from the world. And folks, what we are experiencing right now is exactly what they envisioned for America. Right now, we are living in their vision for America. But this is not a vision that Americans want. We are living in a moment when the checks and balances upon which we have historically relied have begun to buckle. And we here know that when the checks and balances ultimately collapse, if Congress fails to do its part, or if the courts fail to do their part, or if both do their part, but the president defies them anyway, well, friends, that is called a constitutional crisis. And that is a crisis that will eventually impact everyone. Because it would mean that the rules that protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, that ensure each of us has a say about how our government works, will no longer matter. And if that happens, the one check, the one balance, the one power that must not fail is the voice of the people. And look, right now I know a lot of folks are wondering what's going to guide us through this moment. How are we all going to figure out how to chart the course? But that's not a reason to throw up our hands. In fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind
of... this video is actually brought to you by Roly Poly. This is off of his channel.
Oh, is it off his channel? Okay.
That means I need to,
and
that means I need to greet you with this sound
the
here.
one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake.
Yeah, pretty much.
Google it if you've not seen it.
No,
so that scene has been on my mind. Everybody's asking me what you've been thinking about these days. Well, so in the video, for those who haven't,
here's the Oh, hell, I'll say it out loud. Here's the sister girl connection, folks.
BGS, is this really the best they got?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So far.
Speaking of which, I have a question.
Here those elephants were.
And it goes like this. BGS, you should know this question.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
Well, I could actually answer that. You get an incompetent AKA who slept her way to the top. That's how you fuck that up.
And as soon as they felt the earth shaking beneath their feet, they got in a circle and stood next to each other to protect the most vulnerable. Think about it. What a powerful metaphor. Because we know those who try to incite fear are most effective when they divide and conquer.
You know, you really shouldn't talk about the Democrat Party like that, but you know.
When they separate the herd, when they try to make everyone think they are alone. But in the face of crisis, the lesson is don't scatter. The instinct has to be to immediately find and connect with each other, and to know that the circle will be strong. So I'll end with this. I am not here tonight to offer all the answers, but I am here to say this. You are not alone, and we are all in this together. And straight talk, things are probably going to get worse before they get better. But we are ready for it.
Well, she's pretty much right about that if you consider what the Democrat Party looks like right now.
We are not going to scatter. We are going to stand together, everyone a leader, and emerge. You have a special role to play. Organizing is as important as ever. Mobilizing is as important as ever. Running for office is as important as ever. So please, everyone here, please keep doing what you are doing. And to everyone, let's lock it in. Lock it in. Gear up for the...
Okay, that's enough word salad for today.
Mm-hmm.
Now my next segment is, believe it or not, coming from I'll be honest, she's one of my favorite lefties, Sabby Sabs.
Oh, Sabby Sab, yeah. I think I saw this one today. Yeah.
CNN had a panel discussing the Democratic Party's mistake of not having a primary. It's really interesting. They want to have this conversation now. The time to have that conversation would have been in 2024. Now, there were a number of candidates that were running against Joe Biden, RFK Jr. at that time, before he decided to leave the Democratic Party and run as an independent. Yep. There was also Marianne Williamson. Don't forget about Dean Phillips. And of course, there was also TYT host Cenk Uygur, although we can argue that obviously you cannot be president of the United States if you have not been born in the United States.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he also was a part of that pack that was running against Joe Biden because they knew that Joe Biden was not fit for a second term. Well, now we're starting to hear the pundits who defended Joe Biden for the longest time speak out against it. But one of them in particular who said that she said back then that there should have been a primary is basically giving you an I told you so moment to this panel of hosts. You guys have got to see this conversation here. Check it out.
In 2022, after the midterms, I said, if you want to run for president and be the Democratic nominee, anybody who wants to run should be able to run. Unfortunately, nobody, well, a couple people, but
Dean Phillips.
Right, Dean Phillips stepped up. Democrats.
Pause. Notice what they're doing here, right? The only person that they mention is Dean Phillips, even though this network in particular,
of course, he's the closest to Joe Biden, so that's the reason why they're doing that.
Including people like Chuck Todd, who was sitting on that panel, had a lot of criticism when RFK was running under the Democratic Party. Now all of a sudden, they only seem to remember Dean Phillips.
Chuck Todd on CNN, that just doesn't sound right. But anyway,
they also did mention Marianne Williamson. Of course, they're not going to mention Cenk Uygur. He's part of the Young Turks, different type of media. So I just want to show you the game that is being played here. They are purposefully leaving out the other candidates to make it seem like there's only one person who was willing to challenge Joe Biden, and that was Dean Phillips. They don't want to mention Marianne Williamson because Marianne Williamson, I think, was the first person I can't remember if she was first or if RFK was first, but they don't want to mention her because, for one,
if I'm not mistaken, Marianne Williamson was first. But yeah,
I don't even remember seeing an interview.
I was never feeling her anyway, so.
Marianne Williamson when she ran for president. I remember Fox News interviewing her. But just to show you where we are at, folks, they can't even tell the truth about the primary against Joe Biden, even though they're criticizing the Democratic Party for not being willing to have a real primary and also have debates where I think people probably would have chosen someone else other than Joe Biden. So do you see the game that is being played?
Yep.
They mentioned Dean Phillips because he's a congressman, right? So, of course, they're going to mention him. He's part of the Democratic Party. He's a congressman, but they're forgetting everybody else that was challenging Joe Biden at that time.
We should have had a primary for this midterm election, and we didn't. And so now we're living with the consequences of it. I hope that our party wakes up and realizes it. And that me saying that doesn't mean that I don't respect Joe Biden.
You shouldn't. She shouldn't respect Joe Biden. See, this is another thing. Now she has to add this part so that she can continue to have this gig. So she has to tell people, by the way, me saying this doesn't mean that I don't respect Joe Biden, because she still wants to keep her status and her position in that DC circle. This is incredibly important when you watch corporate media, folks, because you have to know.
Yeah, this is actually one of the biggest reasons my father did get into politics, because he ain't ready to lie for these people. Neither am I.
Nor I.
That these people are not willing to give up their seat. So they're only going to be so critical, right? Why do you have respect for Joe Biden? Why do you have respect for Crime Bill Joe? Why do you have respect for someone who initiated a genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza? Please tell me, what is it about Joe Biden that you have so much respect for?
It's called his donors and his pocketbook.
Pretty much.
But there's a reality, and that we should have given our voters an opportunity to make a decision for themselves. And by the time we had to make a decision, it was too late.
By the way, it's just 3 straight nominations where Democratic voters didn't get a chance to pick the nominee. The elites picked Hillary Clinton, the elites picked Joe Biden, and the elites picked Kamala Harris.
You supported all of those actions. Chuck?
Yeah.
Say it again, white boy. Say it again.
I need to hear that again.
Rewind.
But there's a reality, and that we should have given our voters an opportunity to make a decision for themselves. And by the time we had to make a decision, it was too late.
By the way, it's just 3 straight nominations where Democratic voters didn't get a chance to pick the nominee. The elites picked Hillary Clinton, the elites picked Joe Biden, and the elites picked Kamala Harris.
Where's Robert Ford
I
when I need him? I want to get his home run call up here, because he just hit a 3-run homer.
That's a walk-off, grand
That's a
slam.
walk. That's a walk-off.
The grand slam at the bottom of the ninth.
That's a walk-off. That's a Gibson special.
Are you hearing me, Black Brain Trust and Code Breakers? Okay.
Yeah.
I guarantee y'all won't play this shit on your channels, will you?
Ooh.
Yeah, I love CNN and MSNBC.
You supported all of those actions.
A double dog dare you to play it on your channel.
I dare you. I
double dog dare you. Anyway, continuing.
Chuck Todd supported Hillary Clinton being the nominee. Chuck Todd,
yes, he did,
supported Biden. He supported Kamala Harris being the nominee.
Yes, he did.
You know, it's easy to come forward and to say this now. It's easy to come forward and to criticize now. But the reality is, if Kamala Harris would have won, they wouldn't have this conversation. They wouldn't have this conversation about whether or not there should have been a primary. There were a number of people who were screaming that from the rooftops in 2024 and in 2020.
Yeah, I was screaming that from the rooftops. Y'all not going to have a real primary? Really? You're not going to even have debate?
Oh, I already knew that wasn't going to happen. I already knew that.
23, and they chose to ignore all of it, say, drown out the noise. Drown out the noise. Now, this young woman here, Allison, she said that she did speak out against it during that time. I think I do remember her saying that. But the reality is, she wasn't the loudest voice in the room. There were louder voices like Chuck Todd, who is on this panel. There were louder voices like Simone Sanders. These people were the loudest. So her.
Oh, I still can't get that out of my head. Biden got to be in the nominee. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I still can't get that out of my head.
Her voice in that respect was drowned out at that point.
Believe it or not, she took Joy Reid.
On MSNBC. Yeah.
With Michael Steele.
Yeah.
Comcast has officially gotten rid of him. So.
Really? They're gone already?
Yeah, from what I heard.
Wow. Damn, that was short.
More than half of Rachel Maddow's staff has been fired.
Oh, wow. That's short. That didn't take long.
In time. So you get where I'm going with this? So Chuck Todd, you really don't have like the gall right now to sit up there and say, oh yeah, the elites pick these people. You picked them too, and you told your viewers to also pick them. How can you say now you want to bring up Hillary Clinton? That's 2016. We're going back almost 10 years. When a number of us.
Hold on, wait a minute. I hate black women so much. That's why I'm playing a black woman right now, telling you exactly what I'm trying to tell you, knuckleheads.
That they cheated Bernie Sanders, that they took states away from him, that he won and gave them to Hillary Clinton in our face.
Mm-hmm. I think Sabby is qualifies as being black, doesn't she?
I think so.
Doesn't she qualify as being black?
I believe she does. Matter of fact, let me get a bell for that. I think she qualifies.
Okay.
I just wanted to be sure. I'm on before I ring the bell again.
Even though she may or may not pass the paper bag test, she's right on the borderline.
Yeah, I've seen her Instagram photos. She didn't show everything, but she showed enough. She got a body, so yeah, she's black.
She's thick. Yeah, she's a little chunky, but yeah, she's all right.
About it then, but now all of a sudden now people want to complain. It's too late to come back now and say there should have been a primary. It's too late. Every single one of you on that panel, with the exception of Allison, because she did critique that, all of the rest of them supported this decision to continue with Joe Biden as the nominee, and minus Scott, because Scott's Republican. He's been criticizing Biden as heavily as he can go, but they supported it. CNN, the network, supported it.
And you know the funny part is if they had what Obama wanted, I would have a little bit more respect for them, but they couldn't even do that.
Talking about open convention.
Open convention.
Yeah. When they filed, they were because remember I was telling you because this in 2022 that they were killing the Democratic primary.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, because they needed him to. Had he finished with the Ukraine thing and Russia, then he probably would have stepped down and let Kamala Harris have it. But since it didn't happen, they needed him to stay in place where he was. So that's why they try to run the second term. But no, you're not going to hear that from anybody else but here.
Yeah.
NBC supported it. They all got behind Joe Biden, knowing damn well that Joe Biden was not capable of having a second term.
And now the knives are out because all that's coming out because now it's coming out. Everybody knew.
Everybody knew. Yeah.
Started to see Joe Biden's decline during the Democratic primary in 2020. He was declining.
Yeah, I was calling him a dementia patient back then because I could see it.
You know, if you go back to when Joe Biden first won, he said he was only a one-term president.
Yes, he did.
He said he wasn't capable of running doing more than one term.
Yeah, he proved himself right during that debate.
He was right. Yeah, he was right.
On the debate stage. I didn't have a show at that time. This show started in 2021. But I remember I watched all of those debates. I said it back then. Joe Biden is slipping. Joe Biden is not at any point ready or has the mental capability right now to be president of the United States. Obama made a call, told people to drop out of the race. People listened to Obama, handpicked by Obama and elites. Elizabeth Warren stayed in that race, knowing damn well she had no chance to win the Democrat nominee at that point in time. Anything to stop Bernie Sanders, who was running on a progressive message of universal policy.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Now, while I support those policies, I still say to this day, Bernie Sanders should have had reparations on his platform. He should have had a black agenda, just as the Democratic Party has an agenda for other groups. Yeah, but it's hilarious to me.
But Bernie Sanders punked out because he could have made some noise. We didn't.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden people want to speak out.
He probably was never going to get reparations, but he could have.
What was that? Even when they did him dirty in the Democratic convention, he kept his mouth shut.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can see, remember the first time when they were taking his delegates and he was sitting up there in the midst of all his people with his mouth shut.
Yep.
Like, old man, like an old kicked puppy.
Yeah.
So he already knew, man. I don't even know why he ran. You're a socialist, man. They're not going to let you.
Can't speak out when it is not popular to do so. What good are you? Everyone trying to keep their gig.
There was no actual set of voters who felt like they had a say in this.
I'm also still wondering. So let's just assume that Democrats do not decide that they are interested in reformulating the pizza. They just want to spend time focused on refashioning the pizza box. I still don't even know what that's going to be. I mean, here we were talking about a strongly worded letter, and that got the endorsement of like, yep, that's what we need to be doing, more strongly worded letters. I'm not really sure that Democrats yet have figured out stylistically how do we want to.
I mean, the voters think that that's incredibly lame right now. Right?
Yeah.
Is what they're telling you.
Right? Remember the paddles at the State of the Union?
Now all of a sudden we care about what the voters think. Now all of a sudden what the voters, how we feel actually matters. You didn't want to listen to us before. And the interesting part about this is come 2028, all these people will get right back in line. If they don't, they won't be on CNN.
Yeah.
Come 2028, when the DNC, if AOC does decide to run, and it seems like she's going to, when the DNC decides, nope, I don't care how many votes you got, you're not going to.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, AOC running for president. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
To be the nominee, which apparently they argued in court that legally they can do because the DNC is a corporation. When they decide.
Is Jasmine Crockett going to be her vice president?
I don't know.
now that might be funny. That might be hilarious. I might even vote for him. If AOC and Jasmine Crockett, I might vote for him.
Hold on, wait a minute, PGS. I just saw a picture of Jasmine Crockett, and at the angle, and at this angle, I said, "Lord, that's a face only a mama could love."
She has to be done just right.
I was even with the makeup, I could see what you were saying. Like, yeah, she got a butter face.
Yeah, she got a butter. Yeah, basically, she reminds me of Oprah
that she is
Winfrey,
not.
Okay. Oprah with her makeup on looks completely different than with her makeup off. Oprah is the upgradable 3. Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
I seen Oprah with her makeup.
Going to be the nominee. All of these people will get in line with the status quo.
I think that there are some different conversations that are happening in the party. There are people like myself who are like, I'm getting out of Washington, D.C. I didn't stay here for the Correspondents' Dinner. You know why? Because the voters I want to talk to, they aren't watching the Correspondents' Dinner, whether there was a comedian or not. That is not what people are focusing on. They're not, sadly, getting their news from CNN. They're getting their news from online. And so
they're getting their news from independent media. She doesn't want to say that. Yes, a lot of people utilize Twitter as well, but she doesn't want to say they're hearing things from independent media.
Well, I have also said this, that when Donald Trump lost in 2020, Republicans didn't change their message. They actually doubled down on it. I do think Democrats have policies that people like. I do think we have a communications and I think we have a messenger problem right now, which goes to the candidates. So we need to make sure we have, we talk about being the Big Tent coalition. We actually need to be the Big Tent coalition.
The Big Tent is what has gotten the Democratic Party into a lot of trouble. So I want to break this down. She uses the example of Donald Trump and she says the Republican Party didn't change their message, but they tried to. Don't forget, there was a primary in the Republican Party. Now, granted, Trump was not the incumbent, but there was a primary. And the elites wanted Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley was being pushed not just by Republicans and billionaires, but also by some Democrats. There were Democrats who said, oh, what would a Nikki Haley presidency look like? And they were excited about it. I was like, what is happening here? Anything to maintain the status quo. I told you this before. They would rather have someone like Nikki Haley win than to have a Democrat candidate win that has a progressive agenda, a progressive platform. They really would. They're not going to tell you that, but come on, put 2 and 2 together here. So they tried to go in a different direction, but the voters were against it. That's why Nikki Haley did not become the nominee for the GOP. The Republican Party doesn't have super delegates. The Democratic Party does. So if the Democratic Party was listening to the will of the people, Bernie Sanders would have been the nominee.
Yeah,
that's what people have to understand. He would have been the nominee for the party. They weren't listening to the will of the people. They have super delegates that have the final say. So the Republican Party did try to go in a different direction. That's why there was that push for Nikki Haley, but the voters did not want it. They overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump in the primary, even though Donald Trump was not a part of the the Republican debates. People still voted for him.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Which means sometimes you will have in your coalition people you don't always agree with. But that's what was so special about the Democratic Party. I don't have to get 100% at it. But
saying you are going,
but you're not getting any of it. Like this is the problem. This Big Tent coalition in the Democratic Party, the problem that you run into is for those who agree with progressive policies, those are universal policies like healthcare for everybody, which I 100% support and have advocated for years. 100% support universal healthcare, free pre-K, free public universities, which at one point we did have in this country. So people forget. That's a big difference from the majority of the Democratic Party, which basically is Republican light. And they support and maintain the status quo. They're against those universal policies, and they support Wall Street and back the military-industrial complex, and they bend the knee to Israel. So there's fundamentally 2 big differences there. This is why I say this Big Tent doesn't work.
To send a strongly worded letter
But yeah, real quick, this is the picture I'm talking about. That is a face only a mother could love. Good Lord.
Yeah, even though she has her makeup on, it's just a bad angle for her. Yeah. And you can see one eye, that right eye is lower than the left eye, so and slanted downward. Yeah, so
way down.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, of this caption though, if AL's listening, man, did you
it must be a Texas thing, right?
I couldn't help it, man. When I saw that shit, I was like, man.
Yeah, you ain't shit.
Oh, hold on to that. I may have the sound you're looking for. Give me a few minutes.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, let me stop. Okay, let's continue.
In today's political climate is roughly the equivalent of putting a slice of cheese on a frozen hamburger patty on a grill, which Chuck Schumer is famous for doing. You've totally missed.
Where you're going there. Right.
You've completely and totally misunderstood the way political communications work, just the way you misunderstand the way grills work. That is not going to cut it for them. And by the way, Clyburn saying he had no idea Joe Biden was in decline and wasn't in a position to know whether he was in decline.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I still make fun of when Clyburn and Joe Biden. He said, "We knows Joe, and Joe knows us." Like a old time slave. Every time I hear that, like we know translation. We knows Master Joe.
We know Master
Joe knows us.
Master Joe good to us. Okay.
Let me see if I can find that clip, man. That...
Biggest supporter in Congress. Lord have mercy. The scandal deepens is what I took away from that.
Yeah, so obviously that was a lie from Jim Clyburn. I mean, Jim Clyburn learned a long time ago how to play the game. That's why he's not effective in Congress. But it's not just that conversation. I want you to hear something else, another discussion here that was on CNN with Jake Tapper. This is, I believe, Alyssa Farah. So Alyssa Farah is commenting here about the oligarchy tour that Bernie Sanders and AOC are doing and this split in the Democratic Party.
You'll see in polling that people think the leader is anyone from AOC to Kamala Harris to Bernie Sanders. Well, that's not exactly a clear leader of the party, and it's certainly neither of the two congressional leaders. And then you've got folks on the campaign trail talking about fighting the oligarchy. With due respect, no one sits around the table when they're thinking about how they're going to pay that next bill and talks about the oligarchy. For all of Donald Trump's flaws, he's remarkably good at honing a very simple, direct message that resonates people. Build the wall, bring down costs for Americans. That's what Democrats need to get back to. They need to get to what is their agenda that is not just anti-Trump, but what are they going to do to make the lives of Americans better day to day? And I haven't seen someone emerge capable of doing that quite yet.
So I think here what I will say is that when she says people that are trying to pay the bills don't sit around talking about oligarchy, no, they may not use that word, but they do complain about rich people. They do complain about rich people. And I know because I have been there. I have been there working two jobs. I remember having a day job and waiting tables at night. I remember having a day job and working retail in the evening and on the weekends. And I did complain about the rich people, about the billionaires, about all the people who just hoard enormous, vast amounts of wealth. And the rest of us are struggling to get by. And by the way, I was working two jobs after I had a college degree.
Let me do
That's how bad it was.
Let me do a little
just to pay the bills.
AB, really quick.
So
let me do a little housekeeping for you really quick. 77 are watching right now. Like, share, subscribe. Please support the show and support your interests. Hit the super chat and the Cash App to support the show. And just as we bring him up, he comes in.
Don't nobody say yeah.
What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on?
What's
going on, AL?
Hey, everybody good? What we complain about this?
We're fair to Midland, man. Fair to Midland.
Okay, well, let's proceed.
I'll ask him later. But anyway.
No, ask me now. Ask me now, goddammit. Pause. Ask me now. Get it out the way. With the bad news.
I have to ask AL. Did you send a congresswoman?
What am I looking at? Is this Jasmine Crockett? Oh,
yeah. Read the caption, though.
Okay. Let me read this caption. Breaking home. investigation, which Representative was playing. Smoke too. Okay. We got jokes. We got jokes. Okay. All right. Yeah, but you hear nothing. You hear nothing.
We didn't write them.
You hear nothing.
We don't hear it
I
no
didn't
more.
make this meme, man. This meme came up on my timeline.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, motherfuckers. All right.
Discussing already, folks.
It must be a Texas thing, man.
All right. Who's your boy? Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Shots fired.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Continuing.
Yeah.
Democratic Party is divided. They're split. They don't know what they want to be. They don't know.
Yes, they are split. They're talking about getting rid of their vice chair because he dares challenge some of these old Democrats who've been up there too long. Oops.
I think slowly but surely you have a lot of them that are saying that they're not gonna hold the seat or run, so they're seating power right now. So.
Yeah, I have noticed some of them have.
That's not what Pelosi's saying though. She's still ready to fight the good fight.
Well, I think Pelosi's really trying to hold on to power so that her nephew can actually run in 2028. I think that's why she's still trying to hang on.
Gotcha.
But she's damn near 90, man. She ain't get, I don't know if she's gonna make it.
Ain't no spring chicken. That's for damn sure.
Her Maxine Waters is the same age as my mother. My mother will be 87 this year. So.
Yep, Clyburn up there too.
Yep.
But anyway.
Know who they want the leader of the party to be. But if you remember the whole goal of Justice Democrats, it was to take over that Democratic Party. Now, obviously, that did not happen. Dem leadership and, of course, big money interests made that very, very difficult.
Whole movement up. After that, I was pretty much done.
Difficult to do, but also the politicians that were a part of Justice Democrats decided not to fight back against Dem leadership because they didn't want to lose their seats, regardless of what they told you when they were running.
And for the record, I'll say this on record. I was for Justice Democrats and supported them until they sold out.
One in particular, AOC said she didn't care if she was a first-term congressperson. Obviously, she does care, right? So I use this clip from Alyssa Farah to point to the fact that this is why I've said repeatedly that Justice Democrats should have been a separate party. Now, I know third parties are tough. I know they have to fight to get on the ballot. I know about all of this. I voted for Jill Stein. I totally get it. By the way, Jill Stein was on the ballot in over 40 states. I get it. You have to build the infrastructure, etc. But it's been almost 10 years. So if Justice Democrats would have...
Speaking of Jill Stein, I'm sorry, I got to be a little petty here. Where's that picture at? She's the reason we have this picture right here.
Oh, Jill Stein caused this picture. It caused Angela Rod to look like this. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
She pointed that
MacBook and
the little white bony finger at her, and that's.
Yeah. Jill Stein did check her. Yeah. So you about right. You right.
She was going in on the brother, went non-stop, but that white woman's holding the little finger, and that's the reaction. She shut the fuck up.
She had to. We've been challenged, Karen. You scared of Karens.
Into a third party almost 10 years ago, they would probably have that similar infrastructure that the Green Party has. And then maybe they could have talked about some type of collab. They have it's the same policies for the most part. So to me, it just proves my point that there isn't space in the Democratic Party for those types of policies, not because we don't want it to be there, but because Dem leadership and big money interest doesn't want it to be there. Right now, the Democratic Party as it exists is not a truly oppositional party. And then you have this conversation here on Fox News, the Big Money Show, where this gentleman here, he's a part of Shark Tank. He's one of the judges on Shark Tank. I'm not sure if that show is still around, but I remember seeing him there. Rich guy. So just keep that in mind when you hear his conversation. He feels like the Democratic Party needs to be more centrist. It's hilarious. Listen to this.
But I also think to myself, and I think Carville said this first, and he's right, it's got to bifurcate. The AOC kind of socialist thing, she's got to go run her own deal because she's that party, she will never be president of the United States with that platform.
True.
So listen, Not a big fan of AOC. I think she fooled a lot of people, including me. I think that what she said about Jill Stein being predatory is absolutely horrific. She lied about Kamala working tirelessly for a ceasefire. There's many, many things that we can say about AOC, but where he gets this wrong and where.
Oh yeah, she talked about that. It came out that turns out Joe Biden didn't want a ceasefire. What a shock. Anyway.
Oh, really?
He is right.
Hey, BGS, I'm so shocked.
I'm shocked. Hey, what he said in what is it, Casablanca? Shocked.
Which equals some bullshit.
100% agree with that. I disagree.
Thank you for saying that, AL.
Now that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
That's what it equals.
I got 73 watching. I ain't got no super chats or cash apps, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. I got one. Hold on, wait a minute. Never mind.
BGS tax in effect. Come on, y'all.
Snow Strong tax in effect also with the sound effects.
$2. Shout out for the $2. But anyway, let's get back to this.
$1 holler. So.
President with those policies. And I want to give you a couple examples. Some of these progressive policies have actually passed on the local level. Missouri has passed progressive policies. I believe they just passed paid family leave or paid sick leave, the combination of both. Missouri is not a blue state. We have passed progressive policies here in Massachusetts. Many would say that the reason why there's legalization of marijuana in other states on the East Coast now is because we did it first. It spreads to other states, right? There was $15 minimum wage that passed in Nebraska. Again, not a blue state. Medicaid expansion passed in South Dakota as ballot initiative. Again, not a blue state. So as you can see, when people are just faced with the question on the ballot, which you see with ballot measures, people are more likely to vote for what's going to benefit the interests of the working class. Now, obviously, billionaires are not going to do that for the most part, but there's a difference between aligning yourself with a policy and aligning yourself with a candidate. And I think this is where we fall short in this country in particular. People tend to align themselves with a candidate instead of aligning themselves with said policies. And you can see that because if you look at the numbers in the exit polls, it'll show you how many people support Medicare for all, how many people support paid family leave, but they're voting for candidates that don't have said policy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the gist of her video. Let's go to what BGS was showing the other day. The Cuomo.
The fact that in the election, we won in a landslide. We won the popular vote.
We
won the swing states. We won the districts, 2,750 to about 505. And the election took place just a short while ago, November 5th. I think it was
what's different now, Mr. President,
for the country.
What's different now is
before we get started, I would like to state for the record, I think Bill O'Reilly is a bigoted racist, but he's accurate in this video.
Tariffs, and that's what's driving your numbers down. That some people are panicking because the stock market is so up and down, in and out. Would you agree that that has been a perception problem, the tariffs?
Yeah, but I'm an honest guy, and we have to save the country. We were losing $5 billion a day with this man that we had as a president, the AutoPen president. Nobody even knows who the president was. We're losing, think of it, we're losing $5 billion a day, and a big chunk of it was from China. Now China is sending its boats back. The boats are not being unloaded because they have a 145% tariff, which is, a record-setting type tariff. And they can't sell their product here. And because of that, think of it. If you're losing all of that money, maybe you're better off not doing business with them. But I took $5 billion a day and cut it way, way down, way, way back. And I did that within a very short period of time.
When do you think, though, it's going to turn around economically so that people aren't frightened? Do you have a timeline on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fair question. Building plants, building equipment, building so much right now. You probably heard it could be $8 trillion. It could be more than $8 trillion of new investments. Outside in one of my offices waiting for me is the president and chairman of Eli Lilly. And I just left, you take a look, IBM was here today. IBM was here. They're spending billions of dollars. I had some of the biggest Apple, as you know, is spending $500 billion here building their plants. And they've already started in the United States. As you know, they built most of them in China. We had the biggest companies in the world. I had a conference here just about an hour and a half ago. And some of the people are still here. They remain. Some of the people are watching your show tonight, but they're spending, it could be close. I think we're over $8 trillion of new investment. That's unheard of. It's never been anything like that.
Most people, but they want to know a timeline.
They're doing that to avoid the tariffs, Bill.
Okay.
They're doing that to avoid the tariffs.
But do you have a timeline yourself? Do you say, look, it's got to stabilize by this time, fall? Because remember, if it doesn't stabilize this time next year, Democrats may win the midterms. So there is risk here, big risk.
That's true. It is true. And I just think that I'll be able to convince people how good this is. This is what other countries have done to us. We've been the laughing stock and the whipping post. We've been ripped off by every country practically in the world. Just ripped off on trade. And by the way, ripped off with NATO and the military too, because we supported NATO to a tune that was almost, at one point until I became president, it was close to 100%. We're spending on NATO to protect Europe. And then on Europe, they're ripping us off on trade. But if you look at the European Union, they've been brutal to the United States. We lose $300 billion, $350 billion a year to Europe. They don't take our cars. We take 10 million of their cars.
That's getting
they don't
better,
take our
though.
farm products.
Right.
We take their farm products. And it has to change.
All right.
So,
Okay,
but I'm willing to be the one that does that, but it has to change. And I've been given a lot of credit. I got an editorial today by a group that I won't mention, but a group that's a very
Yeah, I think what Trump is trying to say here is he well knew the risk, but he's willing to take the risk in order to fix the country.
Yeah. It's gonna be uneven. Some's gonna be good, some's gonna be bad. So you have to take the good with the bad. But at least he's willing
sort of
to
a
try.
semi-anti.
And I said this at the beginning of the story, BGS, Trump's poll numbers are kind of in the toilet now. With that being said, Democrat poll numbers have not improved at all. So
in fact, they're even worse.
They've got worse, actually.
Yeah.
Trump group, and they said whether you like it or not, he's the most consequential president that we've ever had because he's doing things that if you don't do it, we won't have a country
Okay,
left.
and that's a legitimate point. One more question for me, then I'm Cuomo, and then Stephen A. You signed a deal with Ukraine to harvest minerals today.
Yes.
What were you and Zelensky talking about when you were nose to nose in the Vatican?
I was telling him that it's a very good thing if we can produce a deal that you sign it, because Russia is much bigger and much stronger. Russia is just chugging forward. It's a big, strong country. By the way, not nearly as strong as the United States, because I rebuilt our military in my first term. They gave a lot of it away in Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is one of the reasons we had an incompetent president, grossly incompetent. He should have never been president. But we had a man that didn't know what the hell he was doing in Afghanistan, showed the stupidity of our leader and the weakness of the military. We have a great military. I knocked out ISIS in 3 weeks.
All right, well, you got the deal. You got the deal with Zelensky on the minerals. That means the United States is going to have a presence in Ukraine. Is that going to inhibit Putin, do you think?
Well, it could, but the reason I did that is that we're in for $350 billion or close to it, whereas Europe is only in it for $100 billion.
All right, so we get some of our investment back. All right, Cuomo.
Translation: they have America has more influence over what happens and where Zelensky goes. So,
they loaned the money, and Biden handed them $350 billion between cash and military equipment.
He wants his money back.
We got nothing, and I felt very foolish being the head of a country where Europe gets their money back, and it's a much smaller amount, and we get nothing. So I went to them and said, look, we got to get rare earth. They have great rare earth, meaning certain minerals, materials. They have things that a lot of places don't have. It's a big asset that they have. And we made a deal today where we get, much more in theory than the $350 billion. But I wanted to be protected. I didn't want to be out there and look foolish. And this is not my war. This is Biden's war. I'm just trying to stop it. But the reason I want it stopped is they're losing 5,000 young soldiers every single week.
yeah, they're kidnapping people off the street to go put them on the front lines.
They were until
On average,
they're knocking
Russian
off the kidnappers.
and Ukrainian.
Oh, they got that bad. Damn.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, a lot of the so-called agents that come pick people up have been found murked.
Not American, but they're human beings, and it's so sad to see it. So I want to stop the war.
Let's get Cuomo in here.
Mr. President, it's Chris Cuomo. Thank you for taking
Hi,
the
Chris.
opportunity.
Good,
Appreciate
thank
you doing it. A couple of points of uncertainty. You're talking about, you just said a moment ago that you believe you can convince the American people about what you're doing. One of the things that keeps coming up in polling is that they don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it, that there doesn't seem to be a plan. What does that mean to you in terms of how you have to make the case to the American people to have them deal with the period that it takes for a turnaround?
Well, the problem is Chris, is I have to be flexible because as you do things in life and in business, you need flexibility. You can't just be hard line and I'm going to run right through a wall and I'm never going to go over it or around it. I'm going to go straight. You have to be able to dodge and move and be flexible, and especially in business. Now with the cars, I'm getting a 25% tariff for the people. We're taking in billions and billions of dollars, but they're hurt because they can't switch over 100% of the content of the car.
Shout out to 2Triv for the $5 cash app, and shout out to can y'all read that for me, please? Appreciate
DJB side 1965 with the $20 super chat says appreciation tax for you.
And I appreciate y'all. Give me 1 second here. Where's that? Here we go. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
Within a very short period of time. So they came to see me. I understood their problem, and I gave them a period of a year where I brought it down, and then another year. So I gave them a short period, 2 years, where they have to be switched over 100%, where every single part in the car is made in the USA. Now, if I didn't do that, it would have been very, very tough for them. And so what I am is flexible. And if I didn't do that, it would be very tough for these companies. And these companies, it's a transition period, Chris. And transition is an important word because as you do things, you'll say, well, it's like being on the battlefield. You're on the battlefield. Sometimes you're going to move to the left flank, but then you end up moving to the right flank. And it's very much like that in business. And frankly, it's very much like that in life. But we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. And if you look at China now, they're not, look, we lost $1 trillion on trade with this Biden. China was just taking us out to lunch. There's never been anything like it, the way we were ripped off. We were ripped off by China, but we were ripped off by everybody, but really by China. They were the king of ripping off the United States. Now they're not doing any business here because I don't want them to do business. So I set a high tariff. I don't want them to do business. Now, will we make a deal? There's a very good chance we're going to make a deal, but we're going to make it on our terms.
Mr. President,
it's got to be fair.
Mr. President, in the upcoming budget negotiations, another point of uncertainty is what happens to entitlements. Whether or not waste, fraud, and abuse, I think everybody's in favor of seeing that identified and exposed, but that Social Security benefits or the adjustments or the application of it may be compromised, or Medicaid may be compromised in terms of who gets how much in benefits. Do you have a commitment for the American people in terms of how much you will protect those programs?
We're not doing anything with entitlements. And if you look at Social Security, and by the way, I think I'm better to say this than anybody because I did nothing with entitlements that would hurt people for 4 years. I could have done that. If I was going to do that, I would have done it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or 7 years ago. I'm not doing anything. The only thing is, you say don't talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. There are a lot of illegal aliens that are getting Medicaid that shouldn't be getting it. And nobody objects to taking people off Medicaid that aren't allowed to be there. But we are doing absolutely nothing to hurt Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security. Nothing at all.
Stephen A.
Mr. President, how are you,
Hello,
sir?
Stephen.
How are you?
I remember you from a long time ago, Stephen.
Yes,
How
I
have
do.
you been?
He's the same, Mr. President. He hasn't changed at all.
I'm
Just trouble morning, night, and afternoon.
Congratulations,
That's
Mr.
all right.
President. Honored to
Hello.
talk to you. Here's the deal. You talked about obviously you've introduced aggressive tariffs and significant budget cuts aimed at federal spending. Many critics say these policies disproportionately impact lower income Americans. How do you address concerns that your economic policies primarily benefit wealthy Americans while harming working class Americans?
It actually creates jobs for the middle income. It's going to be better for the middle income. It's going to save our country because we're going to become rich again. Stephen, we lose so much money on trade. It's unbelievable. And instead of losing a lot of money, and they did to us for years what I'm doing to them right now. They charged us tariffs. They wouldn't let us build anything in our country. They said, you want to sell a Ford or you want to sell a General Motors car or anything, you come to China and build your plant in China. You come to the European nations and build your plant in Germany, you build it in France, you build it where we have no interest in letting you. As an example, we don't sell any cars virtually in China. We don't sell any cars in Europe, any. And yet Europe sells millions of cars, Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, millions and millions of cars. They won't take our agricultural product. It's great product. They won't take almost anything for us, but we take their cars, we take their agriculture. Those days are over. We have to have fair trade. We're losing billions and billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's not fair. And it's time for the American people to be properly protected by somebody that knows what he's doing. And I know what I'm doing perfectly. It's a little complicated subject. I've got to explain it. I've got to have people that can explain it. But I can tell you that right now we have over 100 countries that are calling us like morning, noon, and night, dying to make a deal. We're in a great position of strength. We'll make great deals. And where we don't make deals, Stephen, we're just going to set the deals. We'll say that country is going to pay a 20% tariff. That country is going to pay 15%. Another one's going to pay 30 or 40% because we have a big, deficit with a certain country. They're going to pay 30, 40, 50, 60%. So we'll just set those deals. I could set those deals tomorrow and do away with negotiating, but we're negotiating with South Korea. We're negotiating with Japan. We're negotiating with a lot of different, many. India is a very big. They want to make a deal so badly.
Okay.
I'm not telling anything out of school. We're going to make great deals for America instead of bad.
Well-
And if I didn't take this hard line, India, as an example, had no interest in negotiating with anybody in Biden, or frankly, anybody with us. They had no fear. They were ripping us really badly. One of the highest tariff nations in the world. They were taking advantage of us. Now they're calling us and they're saying, please, let's make a deal.
When are you going to announce
We're in
it?
a position of strength.
When are you going to announce? I understand you have a deal with South Korea, Japan, and India. You already got it. When are you announcing it?
Well, we have potential deals with them, yeah. But okay, I'll tell you this. I'm in less of a hurry than you are. We are sitting on the catbird seat. They want us. We don't need them.
All right, remember
But
the
we wanna
folks
be
are
good to
nervous,
them,
though.
But they've been ripping us. Let me just tell you, they've been ripping us off.
We got that,
for
but the
years.
folks.
South Korea has been ripping us off. We pay for their military. You know, when I was there, I got them to pay billions of dollars toward the military. We pay for their military. They take advantage of us on trade. Now, these are friend and foe. We often do better with foe, meaning the enemy, than we do with the friends. The friends have been brutal to this country on trade.
But remember, once you announce, the stock market's going to go up 2,000 points, and people will relax
That's
a
okay.
little
It
more.
can wait 2 weeks.
They can wait. All right. Okay.
Mr. President, Mr. President, an additional question.
Yeah, you got to remember, Trump's not going to get reelected. It's not running again.
No, he can't. He's a lame duck.
You would have to change the Constitution for him to run again for the
they take advantage of us on trade.
And he
trying
can't
to say he's
change
going to run for a third term. No, he's not, dummy.
Yeah, it's called Civics 101.
You big dummy.
Dummy.
Where's that button at of yours?
I'll play it in a minute.
Okay.
Furthermore, given his age, he might take the bucket before the end of his term.
He seems in pretty good shape.
No, he seems in pretty good shape.
If Biden can hang on, he can.
Yeah.
I think Trump has a better chance of hanging on than Biden did.
I don't know. Never know. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
Let me I just saw this one. Let me play this one. This is particularly for the butthurt blues, not just the ones that cry about us, but all the butthurt blues. This is Lindy Lee's take on identity politics.
I'm so sick and tired of this identity politics, and it's just not just with the gays. It's also with like every single race. I kid you not. I hosted Joe Biden on May 1st. It was supposed to be a normal event, okay? But because I was Asian, they thought it would be a good idea to make Lindy happy by bringing in a lion dance.
What?
I kid you not. There's video of this.
What's a lion dance?
It's something.
You gotta toss that out there.
What's
Not
a lion
explain it.
dance?
Is that like that? Now I can't keep up with us. She's like LGBA password code lion dance. What the heck is a lion dance?
It's something that Chinese people dance on Chinese New Year. And by the way, Chinese New Year is sometime in February. I don't know when, but my event was in May.
That's hilarious.
So there's actually
That's so
not.
funny.
There's
We need
not
to
a
get
good
Pelosi into
reason.
Keep in mind, this is a Chinese 92 who was raised here.
Yeah.
So she's not necessarily looking for Chinese culture like that.
This is what I was imagining. That's precisely it. And they had the drums, they had the dancers and the costumes, and my guest and I were we had our jaws on the floor.
Amazing. That's
because I
so
want to say
incredible.
something. This is not my culture, with all due respect. My culture is Britney Spears.
Oh, okay.
Okay, my culture.
Like I said, this is a Chinese 92.
Yeah.
Americanized.
That's how I grew
unfortunate,
up.
but that's
Yes.
okay.
Americanized Chinese woman.
He didn't ask.
Do you need a hug? I feel like you do.
I miss my Britney.
Oh my
admit her.
gosh. I'm sorry. Please continue. This is insane, though.
But this is what I mean. Like, it was supposed to. It was so
is.
insulting. Like, I'm not an American. I have to be a hyphenated American.
It's crazy.
And the thing is, first it was, they call me AAPI. They call me their AAPI donor, Asian American Pacific Islander. The next year they called me AANHPI.
Wow.
And I was like, Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander. And they didn't ask if I wanted to be labeled as their fundraising leader for that. I just want to be American. Why are you putting me in this
You're feeling a
bucket?
quota. That's why.
precisely
You're feeling
it.
a quota.
But I didn't ask to be. And
DEI.
I grew up
Yep, this is DEI in a nutshell.
And hard at work.
here. America's the only country I know. I didn't want
Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
Them.
All right, remember,
We
the
wanna
folks
be
are
good to
nervous,
them,
though.
But they've been ripping us. Let me just tell you, they've been ripping us off.
We got that,
for
but the
years.
folks.
South Korea has been ripping us off. We pay for their military. You know, when I was there, I got them to pay billions of.
So we're going to go to break, but I want to get your take on this. Stephen A., Bill and I have interviewed the president multiple times. Yeah. Meeting him in conversation, dealing with the issues as you know they exist. What do you think about the answers? I had no problem with the answers. I mean, obviously, he was long-winded in saying what he was saying. It was hard to dispute some of the things that he was saying. He is a person that obviously thinks that this country was in a very, very bad state prior to the election. He has his belief system. He has his constituency to answer to. He's very, very big on saying that he's trying to fulfill the promises he made to the people who put him in office. I think that when you look at an elected official, if that's their approach, fact of the matter is we kind of wish that most politicians were like that in terms of, I'm going to do what I said to my constituents I was going to do. Having said that, it's a lot of talk, and I hope that it's backed up. These deals.
Yeah, let's talk about something else, because I'm not interested in showing Skeletor, as we call him.
He did not say Skeletor.
Yeah, I said Skeletor, James Carville Skeletor. The one thing he did get right is the economy stupid. It's something Democrats forgot, but you know.
Shout out to Donald Trump. Shout out to Donald Trump. He's doing to ancestors well.
But yeah, I'm not interested in doing Skeletor today. But yeah, it's Trump's first 100 days. You know, his approval rating's down. What else is new?
Who's Skeletor? Can I ask a question? Who's Skeletor?
James Carville.
Who is that?
An old tired Democrat that's still around.
He was Obama's Democratic.
No, he was Clinton's.
Clinton's political. Yeah.
You mean there's an old white guy who looks like the Crypt Keeper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. You got it.
Yeah. That's him.
The next person that says Crypt Keeper. Next person that says Crypt Keeper, I'm gonna grab that theme and load it onto my sound base and play it.
Might as well.
Oh, play it, man. Because Crypt Keeper.
I'm gonna have to find that theme song. I won't be able to find it tonight, but I gotta find Three Tales from the Crypt now and be ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, BGS, a funny thing happened to me today. I had a chick on TikTok talking about, I'm gonna block you. I was like, oh, okay. Let me help you out. I went and blocked her.
I'll save you the trouble.
It's like, okay, let me help you out. He's the good brother Art Stahl in the building.
There he is. What's up?
Hope you get some rest, brother, because he's been
Art's been banging the hours out, man.
Yeah. He's getting close to summer. So
it's close to the end of the season.
When have they taken their test? Art, their state test.
State test.
Yeah, they have to take these. I forget what they call them.
What grade are they?
Evaluation test. No, all grades have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're federal tests where you have to mandated evaluation tests.
Mandated basic tests.
Something along those lines. I forget what they call them. But the test to see where the kids are. There's
aptitude test.
Yeah, aptitude.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The end of year standardized test, state test exam.
Yeah.
Basically, every state it has a different acronym for it, but every state is required to do it by law to get that federal funding if they want it or not.
Yep.
They cannot pass it up. See, 1 year. For 2 years, Texas tried to pull this shit on the cool, and we got outed for it, like in the late 90s. We're gonna try to. We had two of them they were doing. They tried to just smooth it over and get rid of one, but the one they were trying to get rid of was the one that was fairly funded. No, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's mandated by the state. Even private schools have to do the state standardized mandated test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get into some good old fashioned black female fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I'm just glad I finished my scholastic career back home in Eritrea. It was a lot more simpler.
Oh
yeah.
$1,000.
Mental illnesses.
You want to go on a date? $1,000.
No, good grief. Okay.
No thanks.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Give me this button right. Give me this button right now.
Does it come with sex?
All types of.
Wait. No, it gets better. Wait.
It's better.
$1,000 with a $500 deposit.
Would you repeat that? Would you play that again, please?
Wait, what
I
homeboy
want to be sure I heard this.
50,000.
Oh my God.
You want to go on a date? $1,000.
Mental illness is at an all-time high.
$1,000 with a $500 deposit.
She could have lost her rabbit mind.
What I want to know, do you get it?
What's in
What I
it?
want to know.
Is the coochie
Wait.
No, I want to know. I want to know I want to know how many times that somebody's paid $1,000 to go on a date with you.
Yeah.
That's what I wanna know.
I want to ask one question as well. AB,
I'm not going to keep wasting my time on dates. Just wasting
Oh,
my
so
time.
you haven't
No.
got. Oh, in other words, you never gotten it.
Yeah, translation, no.
Looking beautiful, dressing up, smelling good, giving you that
Okay, you got a rack, but no, I still ain't paying that kind of money for you.
opportunity.
you probably don't wash your
You
ass.
fuck it up.
For a
That's on
grand,
you.
I want coochie right off the bat. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Why
What's
go on
the
a date?
incentive?
Yeah. Why? You know, why go get straight to cut straight to the end?
But why?
But why?
I just feel like
The men
I
you
just
met
feel-
ain't shit.
no.
Into the camera.
Y'all all ain't shit.
But why?
Yeah,
But why?
Y'all all ain't shit. Who raised you? No.
Y'all did. Well, who raised you?
Yeah.
White woman
We
raised
got
you.
both. We got both
I did.
married parents. You
He
got
didn't
married
know what
parents.
to
That's
say. He
beautiful.
looked at him like,
Your
"Man,
mom.
We can't
Your
relate.
mom's here right now as we speak, and she's with you, right?
What?
But okay, so you
But
still ain't
you
answer.
just
But
answered the
why?
question,
Why?
Women show y'all everything. Women potty train. Yeah.
Why you tell?
80%
My
of the
grandfather
time it
probably
was
trained me.
females. Y'all
Yeah, my father probably trained me. I don't know what you're
managers,
talking about.
80% of their supervisors.
Why you
females.
tell?
So what does that mean?
Y'all
Like,
don't
man,
know.
shit.
Y'all don't know.
So if that's the case, you potty train, school teachers, all that kind of stuff, you train males, then it's on y'all.
Yep,
You know?
it still falls on you, so ain't no getting around it.
Run the world.
No, they
Y'all
don't.
can't
Okay,
tell me otherwise. You think
Do
that
they?
men don't value females? Y'all
We
how
definitely
y'all
do,
should
because
be.
all we do is
Nah.
we
Women
do what we do
run
to
No.
get
y'all.
females.
Hey, bro.
Women run y'all.
1,000%.
Women run the world. Respectfully.
They do. How so? How so?
Oh boy.
Do
How so?
tell. Do tell.
I got to get that from. I had to get that clip from Kanye West. Houseway.
And once again, shout out to some American brothers for tolerating a woman talking more than 11 words.
Cold-blooded, Snake. Cold-blooded.
Hey, when you Nigerians get to Europe, man, them Nigerian women show their asses, boy. I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Now you know you a fucked up
Seen
mama.
it.
Don't bring them back, as they say. What's the old saying? Don't bring them back.
Now you know you're a fucked up mama when your baby daddy get out of prison and they give the daughter to him.
Ooh,
No,
boy, that is
I
bad.
do you
That is
one better.
bad. That is bad.
I do you one better. I was just shown a clip that was sent to me, and I really wanted to get it to y'all, but I'm not that, computer literally inclined. But nevertheless, the clip was of a grandmother and her granddaughter, Lily, going toe to toe, and this girl was fighting her grandma, and her grandma was fighting her back. I said, and guess what color they were?
Black.
Take a wild get. Thank you. Bingo. Ding 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 ding. Since $4,000.
Don't down. Hey, the old champ aged out. That's the problem.
Okay, I was in the middle. I saw this particular clip. I was in the middle of fun, and then my computer reset. So I apologize,
2 months
gentlemen.
ago and said,
okay,
2019, they found my daughter in the room with loaded guns and bag of dope. Or whenever my daughter was 1 year old, I was in prison. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did 5 years in prison.
For what?
I was incarcerated 2006, and I came on 2021. But since that, all type of DCFS cases, all type of warrants, since I was in prison and everything. But yeah,
So how
she's homeless. I mean,
we're gonna have to figure out a way, because the way she's acting, we might have to handcuff her and put her in a car.
yeah, and like I said,
Just so you can come get her.
please do not let her go back in there with this.
We're not going to. That's not gonna happen.
But yeah, that's pretty bad.
Mm.
In the case of 3-year-old Devin,
Oh no.
We got a runner.
We got a runner. Where's the runner?
I was doing this all last week.
Oh yeah. Check out the running man.
Yeah, I was doing this all last week, BTS. Like, when I said
Oh,
you,
man.
I maintain my position. You are not the father. Should be an Olympic sport.
Yep.
All last week, BGS, all last week he was featuring those, and I forgot the sound I was playing for each of them, but it was crazy.
You should do some shorts like that, AB. And as soon as you're not the father, and then put it, put mom. We got a runner.
Okay,
Just do
I have
that.
a sound. I got a sound for you, BGS, that
Yes,
we
sir.
just improved for you. We did this Thursday. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll. we recorded it right after the show Thursday, and I wore this motherfucker out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness.
Listen very carefully though.
You are not.
You hear
face.
No.
No.
Thank you. That's the sound I needed.
You know
Do
how.
it again. Do it again. Let me see if I can time it. Do it again.
In the case of 3-year-old Devin, Anthony, you are not.
We got a
Right now in her mind.
Now that's some bullshit.
Hey, BGS. Wait,
Yes,
can you
sir.
pause for a minute, AB? AB, please. Thank you. Hold on a second. Canker. I remember you posted something similar like that a few years ago. And in it was like the woman was like threatening to put the man on child support. And when it said like, he's not the father.
Yeah.
He stood up, right? She fled to the back, right? And then when he's trying to walk past, she's trying to stop and beg him to stay. And like saying, I promise, I won't do this. I promise, I promise.
I remember
that.
that.
I
I
remember that.
remember that one.
Yeah, she's crying.
I
on her
remember
knees
that
and stuff
one.
like that. Yeah. They trying to peel her off of him.
Try being the operative word.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, BGS, you know what makes it so bad? You know who showed me that clip?
Who's that?
Jody.
Oh, really?
Jody showed me that, and she says, you will get such a kick out of it. I think we laughed for 2 hours.
It's his baby.
I told you, Jody is in tune with this shit.
So stop.
Well, you might be the devil then. We'll see.
I am without a doubt 100% certain that he is my son's father. Not only was I
All right, I'm
only
ready.
sleeping with him, we were actually working on our relationship. We already have a child from a previous situation. We got back together. We're working on us.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse. We were not cool at the moment.
We went out and got 3 pregnancy tests. Made me take all of them. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby.
This is what it was. She was trying to get back with me, but I wasn't. So she probably felt like if we have a child, we might work out.
If he has any doubts, I carried the baby. I birthed the baby. If you have any doubts, go ahead. I don't mind making you look stupid. That's why I'm here now.
You'll be sorry.
I'm tired of hearing the denial. If you want a DNA test, let's take it now because I know you're the father. Exactly. Mr.
Say,
Lee,
I'm a foot. You'll be sorry.
are not
Of course.
We got a runner.
Don't look at me like that. I don't know God's
Who else? Was you
Do
know?
you just inject God in this?
Yeah.
Uppercut.
So not so Virgin Mary, huh?
Yeah.
No Virgin Mary here.
Not so Virgin Mary.
That said, forget 100 men versus a gorilla. Let's do 100 women versus accountability.
Accountability is gonna whoop ass, boy.
That took me.
Man, what is that you tell me earlier, Snowman? You're gonna have to add some more zeros on that.
To make it fair.
Yeah, just to make it fair.
Another stratosphere. Because what do you mean 100 women versus accountability?
Oh, you know what he means. Shut up.
Ladies,
All I
I
can say is
hate
drizzle,
to
drizzle.
say it. I hate to say it. The girls,
She knows he telling the truth.
like taking accountability.
Nope.
And to unseasoned ears, accountability can sound like you're being blamed, but how I view it is accountability is just the ability to take into consideration the way that you contributed to the outcome. That's all you got to do. We ain't say you got to take all the blame. We just said take into consideration what you may have done that contributed to the
I don't think y'all really understand.
What the? Wait, whoa. Pause. Arlie Emery, please ask.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Fuck is that?
Yes. I don't think that's a woman. That's a transformer. Buster in disguise.
For me. Because it triggers my own trauma. Because there have been so
you might be right, Namer.
That I didn't even know. Just random black men who have done the same thing to me. Watch this clip.
Bro, it's Sunday. I just got out of a really great service.
Oh no.
This stuff got me shaking. Not because like I'm scared, but it's because like people really out here like this. Really just turned into Popeyes, and I have the right of way. My windows was down, and literally this dude literally just said, "Bitch, you better watch out where you going. I'll shoot that hoe up." Like, what?
She lying.
Not the cap.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows.
I'm ready.
Oh, wait. Drum roll.
When it comes to 2-year-old Trinity Woods, Mr. Dudley, you are not her father.
Thank you, y'all.
Wow. You okay, Mr. Baker? Do you need to sit down?
Yeah, well, I'm good.
You okay?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Come on.
Oh no.
Oh
no. I think I know the curveball that's coming.
When it comes to 2-year-old Trinity Woods,
you bitch.
Mr. Baker,
Yes, Your Honor.
you
I take full responsibility.
are not.
You gotta Hey,
he dancing like Busy Bone right now.
I got one for you, right? Remember the OJ case? If the
jacket,
just like Jamaicans say, if the jacket doesn't fit, you must
quit.
Oh boy.
You know what? Me and Jody would watch clips like these
Mr. Baker,
and just laugh our ass off.
Hey, if the con didn't bust, it wasn't from his nut. Yeah, I said it.
Woods,
You gotta watch that again. I'm sorry.
Mr. Baker,
Yes, Your Honor.
you
I take full responsibility.
Oh, he was just so certain.
2 years old, yeah.
are
Yeah.
not.
They fell out.
No, wait, keep going, AB. Keep going. Look at him. Ooh.
Tiger uppercut. That's what I'm talking about.
Mr. Baker, calm down.
Hey, Mr. Baker, finish her.
BGS.
No. Even better.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hey. Y'all want to know how happy he was after he heard that? And it don't get no happier than this. he was happy than a sissy with a bag of dicks in church on first Sunday looking for brand new religion. That's how happy he was. He don't get no happier than that.
No. Wait. Sorry. AL. Bernie said it best. He said, "This motherfucker happy than a sissy with a bag of dicks, singing and dancing and everything."
It was the happier and a sissy and a CC camp.
Man.
Yep.
One thing I never understood about those things is who's the women not know who's they're fucking?
They don't bother to know.
Do you really want to ask that question?
They always have more than one man.
Yeah,
I know, but they're always pretending like, oh no, they are not so fuck. Like, if you fuck 10 men in a period of a month, why are you surprised if it's a man you're accusing of is not the father? Like it's playing Russian roulette with no chambers.
Yep.
Because they think that all the men that they're messing around with are stupid and won't check.
And will simp up if they're told without a DNA test that they're the father.
You're in a gynocracy, and the women will, whether it's your kid. That's why I showed that guy that proved the 6-year-old wasn't his, and they made him take care of her.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't no way. The minute I was told I wasn't the pappy, I'm out of that bitch. Fuck what the state talking about. Ain't happening. You can send me all the delinquency letters you want to. I ain't answering.
But she been in our family for so many years.
Whoa. What the hell? Whoa.
That's the worst black and East I've ever seen in my life.
A lot of y'all women.
The fuck is that?
Actually, I like Ashley. She's an honest big back, and she actually has a man.
Okay. Then I repeat.
Wait, this is a big back?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's a full big back. She's showing her full body, so you know.
Man,
I have to give the sister her credit.
You know,
Name what is wrong? Can you not see it?
She ain't showed on the full shoulders either.
I can't see the shoulders or anything. Sorry, can't see her. All I see is from the neck
I don't
up.
need the shoulders. I only need the face.
I'll show you later, but she's pointing this out for a
A
reason.
lot of y'all women are gonna be single because of your friends, not these men. Let's watch.
Girlhood is going to the same bar that your friend is having a date on to go spy just because why not? Why not? It's Friday night.
Just because why not? Really?
I wonder why y'all ain't got nothing to do on a Friday night. Probably because there's no men that want to deal with your nasty attitudes and your crazy thinking. And I'm all for knowing where my friends are when they're single and mingling. But watch what they did with the Addy.
What?
Now, for more context, those two friends walked up not one, not two, but 3 flights of stairs to find their friend on a date and decided to send her a drink from the bar.
Oh yeah.
So that it would cause some ruckus in their date.
Yep.
And you can see that the friend is clearly surprised, but she took the drink.
She did take the drink. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So y'all, I didn't know that the girls was there until like after the drink landed at the table. So eventually he left. He was like, it was that dude that was at the bar. Like he did not know. He didn't know.
See, this is why these young boys don't want to go to the club anymore.
This is cock blocking. This is cock blocking for sure. Big time cock blocking.
Look up and 40 done hit you.
That's why the
40, and
YNs
now
are
your
out.
options for available men who want to marry you have started to disappear. It's all fun and games until them girlfriends that thought that ruining your date was funny. They are now on actual dates. They're finding their husbands. They've decided to settle down and stop playing, and you still out there single. Struggling.
Oh, someone tried to do that to me and Jody.
And the biggest thing is they don't even realize or care how dangerous that game is that they just played. Because what if that man that she was on a date with really felt disrespected by this man that was at the bar that was completely innocent? What if he decided to walk up to that man and say something about the disrespect and it turned into a fight or something more deadly or somebody ended up in jail all because y'all want to play and record it?
Never consideration of the
They
consequence of
really
actions.
with this. And if
No
anything,
foresight.
it makes y'all look so miserable and sad and bitter because you really were just mad that your friend was on a date and you weren't. A lot of y'all women.
I got something funny for y'all. Jody and I had a date yesterday. Went to Chili's,
Okay.
That's nice.
And there was a family behind us. I was picking at them, and the kids were smiling, and Jody saw a baby from across the way, and she was smiling at them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I turned to my right.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, and now welcome back to the latest edition of everyone's favorite game show, Name That Big Bad Caption. Oh, she's a big back. Oh, wait, hold on a second. So she's a big back. Okay.
To give you a little extra razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
And then you turn around to the front, and it has.
Oh, she got some titties on. Okay.
Yeah, change that badge for a
gives
big back.
Perfect little touch.
Yeah.
But how short is she?
Big back. I can't hate on the sister.
No,
I can't either.
Legs kind of thick, but yeah, she's a big back. But she
Wait, how short is she?
Shirt, dress part
Good
of the
grief.
swimming suit keeps you covered, helps to camouflage. It has full coverage. So my heavier chested ladies, this is going to make sure that you have the support that you need.
Sorry, I had to crack my knees.
Flutter sleeve is a cute little detail. The color is everything on my skin.
Yeah, she a big back.
Listen, I can never say this company's name correctly, so I'm gonna spell it.
A few bits to get away from Lizzo, but she all right.
ALEUMDR. Y'all are on top of the game. I love these swimming suits, and I love the.
But I give her credit. She said this herself. She's 5'11" and 250.
Woo! Wait. This bitch is 2 inches, about 1.5 inches taller than, and about 40 pounds lighter than Lizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Lizzo lost weight. Lizzo, she about the same size as Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo lost a lot of weight. So
yeah.
Oh, she dropped out from 290 to like what? How much you think?
She just lost 60 pounds, like 230.
230. Okay.
Yeah, me and Jody.
She's 5'10". Okay.
Me and Jody are doing the same.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Joey's case especially.
Yep.
5'3". No, hold on a second. And if you can you please pause.
Yeah.
So Brian, can you hear what I said? Especially in Jody's case, considering she's only 5'3".
Yeah.
That's very taxing on somebody that size.
And her age. So when we got together, we both said we're gonna make this shit happen, and we're gonna, make ourselves better. And Jody said to me, she says, "You're not mad at me for being as big as I am?" I said, "Baby, listen to me. I was pushing 4 bills when you met me. I'm down to 275 now." And she says, "If you can do it, I can do it. So we're doing this shit together."
Okay.
I hear that.
Just to piss the gynocracy off.
You lost the whole person, huh?
I did. I mean, after my surgery, she's come down a ton too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you an example. Snowman.
Hold on, wait a minute, Namer.
Okay.
Snowman, read that for me, please. To Detroit 313.
Detroit 313 with a $5 super chat said Western women love to eat everything that's included with diesel fuel, Walmart, McDonald's franchise.
Hey, that's 3 dings right there. Three dings.
Let me get the bell up here. There you go.
Ching, ching. You better thank your donors.
Yeah, like I said yesterday.
I agree with Smitty too.
Yep. We went to Chili's. Turned to my right. They walk in. Jody looked at me and was like, "Man, we gotta get the fuck out of here now." Now, y'all know the question, and you know how many answers are up on the board. It changes from time to time. What do you think the gynocracy was thinking when they saw me and Jody?
When you guys got up, don't try to run now.
Oh, that's a parole officer.
That was mine. You stole that from me. No. Oh well, that too. But I was thinking, he's with her because she got good credit.
She looked like
Go ahead, BGS.
She looks like she's trying to return an escaped slave.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mind you, this is after she had a full work day. Okay.
Man, they look like the number 10. Sorry, Jody. Didn't mean it like that.
What y'all trying to make, a mixed baby?
A little too late for them in their age. They're like what? 15 years too late?
They don't know.
Yeah, that too.
They don't know. Why tell them? Why tell them?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
I know.
Among us. I'm talking about among us.
Yeah. I know. And she knows. But Jody gives me this evil smile. Oh, Captain Obvious. That's a good one.
What do you say? Put it up. Put it up.
It says Captain Obvious said, "I bet he has money."
No, more like I bet she got money.
Wait. Look at Smitty. What did Smitty say? Look at
Smitty.
Smitty.
Had one of the first times we went out together in North Carolina.
I know they probably sent me back. I thought Dr. Umar said nobody's never.
I bet you got that. I bet you doesn't have any rhythm.
Can I use some derogatory terms?
I bet she can't even dance the boots on the ground.
See, people want to doubt her. I will stop there. I'm not gonna say.
Don't go there. Let's not go there. I wasn't sure.
I'm not gonna. You know what? It just gets so bad when they see us together. You know what? We were singing this to them mentally. Use a troll. Use a troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
Snowman?
And smiled when we walked out. There you go. Every black woman's favorite. He must hate black women. Oh, Captain Obvious. I got a funny story for you. When we were dating and we were living in Terre Haute, Indiana, had a black woman actually say that to me out loud.
Yeah. Wait a minute. He's got another one.
That's why we can't find any good black men. Yeah, because y'all run us off.
Y'all not looking for black men, good black men. Oh, by the way, Snowman.
Yes, sir.
You can blame Chris Bass for the reason for this, and I'll explain that a little bit later. You know she got to get him home before 6 o'clock, otherwise she'll lose him in the dark.
Hey, I got a good one now. What 100 black one versus one white woman.
Oh my god! Oh boy!
No, 100 big backs versus a healthy black.
Baby, that graphic has now got to happen.
Oh my god!
Anyway, should I explain the story, EBJS, about what Bass said about Snowman? Because Snow is dark. Snow is really dark skinned, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said about Brian. He said Brian's the only man I know who can go to a funeral, who's so dark that he can go to a funeral in the nude.
Oh, good grief. Okay.
Look.
No, that's Bass. He loves him like that.
Wait, Namer, you're a bit late for that joke. Jody already made it. But in all seriousness, that's one of the reasons we keep doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because we go out and we have fun and piss people off in the process.
I remember a similar scenario happened to me once, and it was with a female friend.
Mm-hmm.
Only I kind of messed with the people who were looking at us. And next thing, I messed with them a little bit because there was an older couple, and I just looked at the man and I gave him the false hope by saying, you kind of look like Sean Connery. When he had no chance to hell to be he kind of did, but not completely. He looked more like Sean Connery from afar.
Hey, Captain Obvious, the one where you said that's why we can't find any good black men. One, they're not looking. Two, they want to look at all the ones that are taken.
Right. Yo, put up what DJ B-Side said.
My uncle was so dark, he said someone tried to shoot him back in the day and the bullets came back to the shooter and a flashlight.
Why'd you take it back? No, that was good. DJ. You were good. You were cool. It was cool.
No. That would. I'll say it again, and y'all have heard me say this on and off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many jokes Jody and I crack at each other every day that other people wouldn't have the balls to say out loud, and yet we sit and laugh at this shit?
Shit, you should see the number of jokes I have about regard to the vitiligo on my face.
Wait, just a minute. BGS and I were talking about Caitlin Clark last year, and Jody came on camera with me, and Y'all know we have this running joke in the house about the five household rules.
Mm-hmm.
When Jody said rule number 1 is I'm always right, BGS jumped all over it and said, "Oh, so she is black." Me and Jody fell out. And
you almost broke the chair because I remember she was sitting on your lap when she was talking about
then
it.
the second, yeah, she was. Then the second rule, she says that no, it's always your fault. And then BGS jumped all over it again and said, "Oh, the gynocracy is real." Fell out again.
It's always Jermaine's fault.
It's always Jermaine's
What was
fault.
rule number 3? What was rule number 3?
It's always Jermaine's fault. But the best one that be
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
I think that's a skit, and that's real.
the
I'm
best
glad it was no
one,
longer Tito's fault.
the best one that BGS did that Jody heard. Okay. BGS first said it was earlier in the week, sometime back, that I was talking about Jody, and BGS spits out the joke, "Well, you just got your reparations. You good."
40 acres and a white woman.
48 hours later, on the Colosseum, BGS spits it out again. Jody walks off laughing.
Yeah, you already got your reparations. You got a white woman.
Listen, all we're looking for now is some more acreage. That's it.
That's the teacher.
That'd be funny. 40 acres and a white woman.
Yep. I still say that T-shirt's got to happen.
Oh, he definitely.
That T-shirt has got to.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
when BGS said that aloud and Jody heard it through my headset, we were both in tears laughing.
That's a healthy relationship right there. But BGS.
Listen, Jody and I laugh at almost everything.
Okay?
Okay?
But you gotta tell her the condom joke about.
Oh, don't worry. She gonna come after your ass this week when I tell her and she can't stop laughing.
You know what? You see, laughter does help you burn a lot of fat, burn a lot of calories.
Wait.
So it'll be BGS's fault that this woman ends up having a 6-pack ab. Same for you, Snowman.
I know it. Look, like I said, we're gonna get a lot more mileage off the reparation joke, especially when we get the fuck up out of Indiana, man. All right, we're getting out of here. Let me get out of here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Snowman in the Morning was probably brought to you by Bumleg Orthopedics. The only thing keeping a lot of people standing upright. That's Bumleg Orthopedics.
The Bumleg Orthopedics. And what is that quote? Oh, my leg.
Oh, my leg. Thank you, V-Lock.
It always confuses. I'm almost a little bit confused because I have 3 snowmans, 2 are white and 1 is black.
Hey, BGS, I'm confused. How can you be a first lady and be so damn miserable?
Because you're black, right?
The gynocracy is real.
It's real. Only black.
I'll answer that simply with the same line that BGS and I used when Colorado was playing Colorado State 2 years ago. The gynocracy is real.
It's real. You got to go back to Angela Rye's picture, right? Okay.
Yeah, give me that face before I get out of here.
It's the same.
I can show y'all.
It's the same face Angela Bassett had when she was setting that car on fire.
Wait next
Excel, yeah. Go look good. Exact
this
same
is the face. Every time Jody and I go out somewhere, this is the face we're getting. That motherfucker, that face, right?
I'm sorry, this scares the hell out of me because she could pass for one of my peoples, She could.
She could. Angela Rye?
Yeah, she could be. No, I mean, because of her complexion, not to mention the forehead. Yeah, she could pass for one of us.
Good night, y'all.
Stop the cap name. He doesn't look like one of your people.
Almost slightly, or one of the mixed race one, but probably. You'd be surprised how many people get mistaken for what.
But yeah,
are you trying to say y'all all look the same?
Not necessarily.
No, I'm talking to
the Snake Man.
Snake Man, yeah.
Yo, you know what?
I'm not
gonna
saying.
tell
I'm not
y'all.
saying. I'm not
You know
saying.
what?
Being
You know
from
what?
being
I
from the
have.
continent, I know how they look like, and they don't look like this. Like
Okay.
straight.
Well, you're in Germany. There's a lot of us over there, so you know you've
Yeah,
probably
and they
been
don't
around
look
many.
like this. They don't look like this.
Those are the ones that got out.
Yeah, those are the ones that got out mostly. But I have a story to tell. This goes
Mhm.
back to 2017, I guess it was 2017, 2019, somewhere around that time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Nigerians were having this big buzz because there was a rumor that was put out by one of their tabloid websites talking about polygamy is now legal in Eritrea. And then there was this big scruff about a lot of Nigerians talking about we're gonna go to Eritrea to get ourselves a bride and whatnot. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, because I remember I had Nigerian friends contact me, ask me, "Is this real?" I'm like, look at this shit. I'm like, no, and I was able to debunk it easily, especially when they said the source came from the Eritrean embassy in Somalia.
So
we don't have one there.
Okay, so is there so there is no polygamy in Eritrea?
It's illegal.
Okay.
Okay.
But
polygamy is legal.
Yeah, but
Polygamy is legal.
in the village they do what they want though.
Yeah, to an extent, and not to mention, well, in the villages, among the nomadic peoples, yeah, they do whatever. But in major cities, polygamy, even from
Nomadic. Where in Eritrea? Where can you be nomadic? It's just a fucking coastline with mountains.
we border Sudan, brother, and not to mention, you have some people who are nomadic pastoralists, and in Djibouti.
You got nomadic pastors go from all the way from Iran all the way down to the to South Africa. They've been doing that
Snake Man.
for like.
Do you know what our state animal is?
I don't know.
You know,
inbred camel.
Sheep.
It's a camel.
It's camel.
Yeah,
it's a camel.
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
That has to do with the independence war from Ethiopia. So, but anyway,
I mean, they in Arabia they call them Bedouins. What do you guys call them? The nomadic people.
We don't have. Well, it depends. We just refer them by their ethnicities, actually, by their ethnic groups.
Okay.
I mean, but then again, you talk about Arab Bedouins. One tribe in particular, and they're one of the most recent migrants to the region, are people called the Rashada. They're Hijazi Arabs. They came from across the Arabian Peninsula in the 1860s, 1870s, and they are mostly found along the Red Sea coast from Sudan. They travel like as far north as Egypt, and they travel all the way down to as far south as Eritrea.
Yeah, because the Maasai in Kenya, they're nomadic people.
Yes, they are.
Now, for this next section, all I have to say is, simp alert, simp, 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 simp.
Okay, that hurt my ears.
Good. Okay.
That's the purpose of it. But anyway, here we go.
Latino, she's legal. But Tracy Ellis Ross out there, she's dating younger men too. Well, nobody say nothing when the white guys do it. If that sound like you, just stay away from my 19 and my 20-year-old. But she's 19 though.
They ain't gonna
But
stop.
Tracy Ellis Ross out there, she's dating younger men too. Well, nobody say nothing when the white guys do it. If that sounds like you, just stay away from my 19 and my 20-year-old.
Make sure your 19, 20-year-old stay away from
But
them.
she's not.
Exactly.
That's when only what happens.
She's legal. But Tracy Ellis Ross out there, she's dating younger men.
Anyway.
Yeah, nobody say anything when Aretha Franklin had her baby at 12 or 13.
Ooh. She had a baby at 12?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
At black women. Like, damn, y'all clock they lace, they waist, they makeup, they body count, they income.
Well, Snowman ain't here so I'll say it for him. Tell me, what is gay?
AB, I got your back on that one. You know I do the voices better.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute, Snake Man. Okay. But yeah, tell me, what is gay? Why are you gay?
Why are you?
Why are you gay? Why are you gay, my friend?
When was the last time y'all clocked in the work?
Why are you
Y'all hate
gay?
on black women so bad. I swear y'all don't even like women.
Y'all ain't gonna like what I'm finna say, but I gotta say it. Shannon Sharp is a creepy old man. I don't care what y'all say. He a creepy old man. But you wanna know what's even weirder, and I'm gonna check y'all on? I hate when y'all act like just because people got money, they can do whatever they want to do without judgment.
Can we
I
use
don't
it?
care about Shannon Sharp playing.
English, Negro, can you speak it?
No football.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Being on ESPN.
Nothing personally.
Say what again?
No way you as a man.
And nothing personally against him. Maybe it's a culture difference, but I cannot take a man seriously who cannot wear a cap straight.
Why you in the camera with your
Y'all
shirt
not
off?
even looking
Talk
at
about
these
creepy.
conversations, bro. And even the audio leak, fake or not, playing or not, this is a 50-some-year-old man talking to a 20-year-old girl.
So
if you can
ain't no girl.
that, hey, that's you. I don't.
She's a well-known hoe too. On top of that, so
Who is he anyway?
Well, why is he pretending like he wouldn't do the same?
He
like
would.
He's not that
He
young.
would.
And he does.
He would.
He would.
But you just don't have that type of money. You don't have the money.
He ain't got the money.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm so happy that these two dudes low-key fell off, bro. Because any dudes out here that be bashing women the way these two dudes do, they don't be getting no women for real, bro. Trust and believe.
Neither do you, but okay.
Any dude that
They do, but most of them are hoes.
don't get no women.
How you know?
Most of the time, and I truly believe these.
And for the record, I can't stand Myron.
Oh, if they got money, they get dudes. They get women.
Two dudes, especially the dudes.
They get dudes.
If they get women, if they get
Yeah.
But you know what?
Right,
you know what? I don't even know why the manosphere listens to Myron, right? Okay.
Myron,
I don't.
Because he's a Fed, man. He's been a Fed.
He's a Fed. He's also, considered what he is. I know that stereotype many a times, man. We've seen some of that shit before.
I don't care what color you are. If you're a Fed, man, I don't know why people trust you.
No, sir. I mean, I was talking about his ethnicity and ethnic background.
Yeah.
So I thought you were talking about that he is a gay Fed, but
No, I'm not saying he's gay. What I'm saying is when I say he's a Fed, he's a federal agent. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's no such thing as former. Okay.
No, I mean, unofficial, official, but fair enough, sir. Right.
I don't watch Myron at all. So
As soon as you announce that he's a Fed, once you in, then you never really get out, man. It's like the mafia.
Yeah.
And you're gonna trust him when he says say the black manosphere is over.
Fuck out of here. Or like when he talks shit about.
Look at Fresh, bro. Just look at that face. Does that face right there tell you he was a women magnet, bro? Hell no, bro. He was struggling out here to get a woman, bro. Buddy out here rocking a full beard with no mustache, bro.
Oh, him.
Rocking a full beard with no
He's
mustache,
Barbadian.
bro. Like, come on, cuz. Buddy definitely out here paying for it, bro.
Okay. So what?
Buddy,
yes, he never hide it.
Show, bro. And as for Myron himself, bro, he like the type of dude that'll drive his car off a cliff if his girl left him, bro. But to any of y'all young dudes out there watching this video, if y'all struggling getting women, bro, do not listen to these two dudes.
And don't listen to him either.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like is
he's a pookie. He's a pookie.
Yeah. Now, one thing I don't like is if you don't like a person, at least know who you're talking about. Like,
he's a pookie.
And how the fuck y'all keep fumbling bitches that ain't doing nothing but asking for reciprocation and respect? Damn, that's too much. And how the fuck y'all keep fumbling bitches that ain't doing nothing but asking for reciprocation and respect? Damn, that's too much.
Excuse me, AB.
Are you straight? Are you gay?
Excuse me, AB. Charles asking for the link.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Which room are you talking about? What does he mean with fumbling?
No, why are you fumbling? I mean, how come you messing up with women that asking for the bare minimum? That's what it says. Fumbling. You know how you fumble football? In football, that's what that's what it means. Fumble. It means
that's what it means.
Drop. By accident.
Okay. And how the fuck y'all keep fumbling bitches that ain't doing nothing but asking for reciprocation and respect?
Why do men despise the women who helped build them from the ground up?
Let's talk about it, ladies. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. And not all dudes are like this. But most dudes do not stay with the woman that helps build them up because the woman that helps build them up is not the ideal woman that they want. They want the woman that's there where you have to come with already built up. And they want the BBL women and the women who are celebrities, the IG models. They want those type of women. You come to them, you gotta already have money. You already gotta have social status. Where they will overlook a woman who will love you when you have nothing. They'll lay your dirty drawers. You can literally not have a job, put in the effort and working, and they will love you. but they skip over those women because those women are not their ideal woman or not the ideal woman.
How do you skip over them when you're already with them?
They want the woman that's like eye candy that everybody wants. So they will literally attack those women who only want the dudes coming.
I'm getting Derek Jackson vibes from this fool.
They're trying to since Derek went down, they're trying to play that. That's the new.
Yeah, they're trying to replace him.
Talking shit about black men is the new game to make money.
My woman, I don't care what nobody say. If I bring my woman over to your house, your ass better behave. And I ain't talking about my woman.
Excuse me?
Your ass, the owner of the house, you better behave. I can
get out of my house.
Yeah.
Hold on. He's talking about family. So is he talking the same energy to his father?
Get out of my. Don't bring her to my house.
Yeah, don't bring her to my house. She ain't gonna come in. She ain't coming to my house talking crazy.
My family disrespect my woman. I don't care what nobody say. If I bring my woman over to your house, your ass better behave. And I ain't talking about my woman. Your ass, the owner of the house, you better behave.
BGS, that nigga done lost his last goddamn rabbit ass mind. Goddamn. He guess what? You can talk to the mind changer there. I'm gonna pull the mind changer out and I'm gonna put 7 up in them hoes and cock that first one.
This is a man who never owned anything.
Respect for women. All these games.
I'm gonna defend my woman to the end. You got that right. You gonna be at the end. In the end of the road.
Boy, I remember y'all know the game that y'all be playing, bring up the exes and all that. Why the new girl right there? Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Whole family. Y'all better act like y'all got some goddamn sense when I bring
It would be not so worse if he was saying my friends.
Sit down and act right. Sit down.
But it's talking about family.
My company, we respect.
Wouldn't it be better if you just don't come
don't
over?
bring her around.
Exactly.
Don't bring her around. You just say, nah, you're gonna sit your ass down because I know how my people are. I mean, I know if I'm in a relationship, there's members of my own family I can't, bring them around.
Yeah. If I ever get a relationship, there's certain family members I ain't bringing them around there.
And guess what? Why you don't bring me around? Because you go start some shit. And I'll tell it to her face. Bitch, anytime you come around, my people ready to fight you and talk, getting my ass. No, ma'am. You can't come nowhere where I'm at.
Nope.
But it's not a compliment in every case. I'm sorry, it's just not. It actually raises a lot of red flags, to be honest. Because now you got your counterparts and your peers asking,
Why is he doing that?
If you even capable of keeping a relationship.
What? I know that video is kind of old, but it showed on my For You page, so I just had to comment on it. I find it funny how you guys make it seem like women are single because they're not dateable. A lot of these
What?
Did you hear her stutter?
These women are single because they choose to be. I mean, have you seen the way men are today? A lot of you guys are single.
Oh, this is funny.
Not by choice, but because you can't get a woman. It's because women don't want you. You're not dateable. You guys approach women the wrong way. You don't value women. You don't know how to treat women. As a matter of fact, from what I've been seeing, most of you guys hate women, and I'm 100%
Here we go with the hate women shit again.
You hate women.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You a misogynist.
Why is the guy who's banned at a merry-go-round talking about men that hate women?
Because they hate him too.
I mean, here's my thing. They're not going to like you anymore. They're not going to sleep with you anymore. And
But
I tell a lot
Charles,
of
he
these
figures
guys.
if he can cape, he can just keep caping, hope upon hope. One day it might come true. He might get
Maybe if
selected.
maybe if he held his nuts instead of tucking them. I mean, maybe.
He's the gay best friend. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, are you saying somewhere
Over the rainbow, looking
Hold
ass dummy.
on. He's gay? Why is he talking it out?
Why are you gay?
Yeah.
You can tell. Snake Man, you got a lot to learn. And by the way, you're my favorite motherfucker that sound like you from the Third Reich. But I mean,
were you born in Germany? Because your accent is really strong.
No, I was born in Nigeria, evil state.
Okay, so how long? When did you come to Germany? What age?
Who's adjusting the radio?
That's Charles. He's driving.
not even in my car.
Can you mute up, please, Charles? Thank you.
It's not even me, kid. But keep going. What's up?
This I was taken when I was 3 years old.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
But
You spend more time in Germany than Nigeria. You should have just said that.
I can hear that accent.
No, I asked a specific. I asked
Nah,
him where he was
because
born.
by this logic, my father spent more time in Germany than in Nigeria, and he still cannot speak the language. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he can't speak it. He never.
like
Oh, he never
barely,
bothered.
barely.
How come he never bothered to learn the language if he's going to spend that much time?
Because then he's an old African. Like you cannot teach an old African musings.
Okay. I mean, we see with a lot of Spanish speakers here.
When a black man gets on the internet and the first thing they say is how they don't date black girls, I feel like we should stop seeing it as a dig on black women and see it as an admission of guilt, knowing that they aren't good.
Oh gosh, here we go.
And that's the real truth.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Stop the presses. Stop the goddamn presses. I refuse to be taught anything about women by a nigga that lactates.
Oh, you ain't shit.
This dude looks like a cross between Fat Joe and Lizzo.
He looks like an overweight mama from Mama's Family without the wig.
You can't even get in.
Looks like Medea without the wig and
What
grew
is
a
your
beard.
purpose on the earth as a woman if you're not seeking some type of family?
With all due disrespect, who asked you? Like, who was sitting around clamoring to know what you thought on this subject?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The voice, it does not match the face.
Yeah.
Also, this question implies that you think women exist for the sole purpose of getting married and having children.
Yes, they
think they're the
Now he is gay. I hear it in his voice. He is gay. He is so gay.
some women
Either that or a
don't wanna get
metrosexual.
married
No, he is gay.
they don't want to get married to men like you.
What is gay? Why are you gay?
Just throwing that out
That
there.
dude is so deep in the closet, he's
Maybe
finding
if you're
Christmas
wondering
gifts.
what's wrong with women,
He is so gay, Chuck. He is so gay. Why is he gay?
yourself, what's wrong with me?
You getting too many bitches in college, you gonna have niggas out there who gonna look at you and be like, this nigga's getting too many bitches. Let's start a rumor about this nigga.
An envious man is a dangerous man, and a lot of male friendships are based on this competitiveness and toxic masculinity. That's why one of the go-to insults.
Oh gosh.
A lot of male friends.
Wait. AB? You remember
The
the
decency
Boondocks?
of putting on a can you put on a shirt? Damn.
You don't get any bitches. And on the
And then you can tell he's a goddamn poop.
At least in that
I'm not going to say that I was Mr. Good. I got a good amount of female attention at LSU because I was heavily involved on campus. And I can't tell you the amount of new shit I learned about myself every week. I was chilling at my old friend's crib.
Yeah, he sounds like he's been indoctrinated by college. But
And he was on the phone with this girl that I knew. He ran
Sound like he got indoctrinated by the Blue Oyster Club too.
She said,
Yeah, he sound like Cameron. Yeah, shots fired.
Wait.
I quote, "Ew. I was told that Dante only talks to down bad S words, and any woman that he approaches should take it as a sign of disrespect." She said 3 dudes came up to her at a tailgate and told her that about me. Here's the thing. I had a girlfriend during the time, meaning that I wasn't approaching any women for this rumor to have any basis whatsoever. What happened was these 3 dudes walked up.
BGS, this is the kind of dudes they want, really?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, that they claim they want, quote unquote, claim they want.
First of all, he doesn't make
My
any
name popped up
sense.
in conversation.
He's non-threatening.
Yes.
Non-threatening.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, Snake Man. He doesn't make any sense.
These guys decided to just make some shit up, jeopardize my relationship, just to dirty Mac to some women that I didn't even know existed.
Oh boy.
A real man isn't going to let the mother of his child struggle, together or not.
Oh boy, that ain't been my experience.
How would you know what a real man is?
I talked to one of my friends. I talked to one of my friends the other day. I was like, "Look, he been holding back." He said, "I didn't want to talk about her, but I was like, look, I just told him." She told me what was going on in the court. I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds about right." I told him, "Look, you're gonna have to be the bad guy for a little bit." And I told him, "Your kids may not understand, may not understand it." And He came out and told me what was really going on. He said, turned out his ex-wife cheated on him.
Oh yeah, that's common. You know, the thing is the cheating part.
It gets worse. It actually gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
mm-hmm.
See, he married a preacher's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and now I'm just gonna come out and say it because I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Mm-hmm.
My pastor's trying to cover it up.
Okay.
And which is one of the reasons why I ain't been to church in over a month. And I don't want, and quite frankly, I just don't want to be around when that shit blows up.
I'd be right in the middle of it.
I am here for the bullshit, and I got. Hey, remember that meme? It was Michael Jackson sitting in the movie theater. He had the thriller eyes on his face. Yeah, he watching the movie. He's like, "I'm here for the bullshit." Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, with my popcorn. Yeah,
popcorn. Don't forget the soda.
What does it say? Cheating. They're all gonna cheat. The thing is, will they respect you enough to keep it quiet?
Now, I am to a degree for the bullshit. I told him the reason why I don't talk to his wife and they have no interest in trying to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
She tried when she was younger. She tried to accuse me of being a pedo.
A pedo.
Yeah. No, that's not even the funny part. The funny part is she tried to accuse me of being a pedo for dating a chick that's about to turn 40 in a few days.
What?
A grown ass woman. Get the fuck out of here. That's an oxymoron. That shit don't even make no sense.
How can you be a pedo to dating a woman that could be a grandmother?
Yeah. She's 2 years younger than me. Okay. And by the way, I haven't talked to this chick. I haven't talked to this chick in like 7 years.
Okay.
But it gets better. At the time, she was underage. Now, underage, and I was grown. Now she's dating a dude older than me. Oops.
Okay.
But I'm a pedo for trying to date a chick that's 2 years younger than me. Okay.
Oops.
For dating.
Black women don't make any sense.
And I didn't tell him this because I didn't want to mess up her relationship. But now they're divorced and she's fucking around. She's still fucking with him. I was like, you know what? I need to take no advice and tell him I need to be the bad guy right now.
I wouldn't. Every time I saw her, I said, "You still dating that old man?"
Ooh.
Or did you get one older this time? Every time she walked by, I would dig it in. Try to call me a pedo every time I come by. Okay, so is your the man you dating a pedo?
Ooh, man.
Hey, you know your girl thinks you're a pedophile, right?
Yeah,
for dating her. Oh, I'd be so messy.
I could be really messy because I had to kick her out of my hotel room.
What's she doing in your hotel room?
Well, I made the mistake. We were the church was out of town, and my room was the party room, and she was flirting with some boy in there, and I had to get undressed, so I was like, "Get out!" And she didn't want to leave, so I picked her up and threw her out.
Oh, good grief! Okay.
Well, it's a catch-22. I'm gonna get screwed either way, so I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna pick up and throw it out." Nah, you're gonna get out one way or the other.
What are you? Her she friend zone you, or what's her deal? Y'all relate?
No, it wasn't even friend zone. She was underage at the time. There was nothing was going to happen.
Okay. Oh, okay. So why?
And I don't want to deal. I did not want that headache.
Why is she in your room? She underage.
It was the party room, and there were some teenagers in there.
You can't come in here because shit's gonna start. You can't be in here.
There was too many guys in there. Nothing was about to start in there. But anyway.
No. What I'm saying is, if there's underage chicks in there, man, there's always some bullshit that's gonna happen. Right?
Yep.
Go find somebody your own age.
Yeah,
it's got bullshit written all over it.
Yeah.
Alexa, play Tina Says Tutorial by DJ Quick.
It's a mail room too. No, hell no.
You gotta get up out of here, young lady.
Yeah.
There's nothing easier than being a black man. Nothing easier.
Because
no matter what
really?
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
Oh Lord.
No matter how much you fuck up your own life due to your own fucking decisions that you made, there's always going to be an excuse. There's always going to be somebody there to coddle you and tell you that it's a system.
What world is he living in?
Black? No. We all have sat in classrooms with these same not shit ass niggas. We know that they do nothing but tear down the people who actually.
want to move forward in life.
He's talking
We know
about
this.
himself,
But
BJ.
never,
Yeah, he is.
ever will you ever hear them say, I didn't pay attention to school. I fucked up. You'll never hear that. And you know what else you will never hear? You will never hear nobody else holding them motherfuckers accountable either. It's always some fucking excuse. I hate seeing the fact that this is a conversation about why black men don't go to college, and then I scroll and I'm seeing some fucking woman make all these fucking excuses. Shut the fuck up. That's when y'all are just in the fucking way. God, it's not hard to not be a fucking criminal. Don't engage in criminal activity. Y'all will make a million excuses as to why a nigga ain't shit, and not one of them will be because he just ain't shit. And it's evident in the way that they describe their challenges. They really
man, you know what's
they have
funny?
some
The
unique.
articulation of these motherfuckers is abysmal.
Yeah.
And instead of so there's nothing like racism. There's nothing like over policing in black communities. Who determines who it's a crime first?
Yeah.
Oh, this is coming from an expert.
So there's nothing else that's coming, or you don't even talk about your women who will lie on you to give you charges.
Basically, your mama that's born that has 5 kids out of wedlock, I mean, basically is on welfare in Section 8, and she got you in this rough ass neighborhood. I mean,
Yeah, so
you
you
become a
can't
criminal
even
just to
think
protect
about it.
yourself. Yeah.
You know, and it's always what I said. If a black man becomes something, it's not because of his mother; it's despite of his mother.
In spite of,
And I'm looking at it. Look at Kevin Durant. You the MVP. You're the oldest nigga. Why does she keep having more kids? Why did she make your life harder that you had to bail her ass out? No wonder you got a bail pattern baldness at 12.
That nigga was stressing.
So fucking hard. Every single story is like, nigga, y'all all sound the same. You're not special. You sat there.
Neither are you, nigga. So I don't know why you
on your girl's couch and watched her go to CNA class.
Where's your degree, sir? Where's your
you
degree?
sat there and played the video game. You sat there and watched her become a.
Really, nigga? We have this conversation right now.
Good grief. Okay.
You know, there's 3 niggas every black woman owe their fucking degree to. The smart dude who actually did the work for her.
Yep.
The drug dealer that paid for her books and tuition.
Yep.
And the pookie that watched her kids and picked them up from school.
Yep. You sat there and watched her go to LPN classes. And you sat there. You then sat there and watched her go become an RN.
No, let's stop right there. Stop right there real quick. Why the fuck? If she's going to college, why can't she get a nigga that's already in?
Yeah.
Why? Here's my question. Let me ask this question because I have the superpower called logic. I never heard black women say to their daughters or to their friends, let's bum rush the graduation to pick up these black men that are graduating.
Because they won't have them. That's why they know they're not gonna pick them. They're not gonna get picked.
They're not gonna get picked because for 2 reasons. One, they're gonna always look at this guy like he's better than me, which he is. And number 2, you make horrible fucking wives.
Black women do not like to be shamed, so they don't want a guy that's smarter than them that will shame them.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
And that's why you ain't married.
Yeah, it's called being smart. What the fuck? I don't.
Wait a minute, BGS. So that's why I've been single so long. Anyway,
yeah,
it's like
Charles don't talk about. Basically, they hate you to be smarter than them because they're gonna say something smart in public, right? And you're gonna counter that shit. They don't like to be shamed.
Oh, I do it all the time.
I know.
And it's funny because
that's why they break up with you all the time.
We broke up. I was like, okay, I just stopped calling you. I don't give a shit. You try to call me a clown, and guess what I called her?
Black men are not competent.
Charles Barkley in relationships, 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, no ring.
And how long? So what happened the next day?
I told her go fuck yourself.
She's
ever once ever been in any
she tried, and I'll tell you this part real quick. He tried to say, "Well, I could call my baby daddy, and he can tell you how good my stuff is." I said, "Obviously, not enough to keep the nigga." The look on her face was like golden. I said, "Matter of fact, I raised better kids than you. Your son is like what? Prove me wrong." I never had to go get my son out of any fucking juvie.
Ooh, Damn.
The only reason your daughter went to the fucking army is to get away from her crazy ass brother and you. I said, okay, so we keep going. Let me see. I got more dick control than your loose pussy. And I was holding back, really.
Evidently.
I could have went in. I could have went.
A black man was a rival, was a true adversary. Like never. It's not hard to defeat black men. It's not hard. And they want to say, "Oh, it's the white man." No, nigga, y'all getting defeated by other black men too. It ain't just white men. We're beating y'all asses too. These niggas will say, "Oh, we couldn't afford to go to college." Oh,
what degree do you have,
but
sir?
you can afford child support on 6 different kids.
Yeah, what degree?
Oh, we couldn't afford to go.
Man, this man is confused.
Oh, but
like, stay on subject, nigga. That's what I would tell him. Stay on subject.
He's not confused. He's just confusing, Snake
Who
Man.
fucking who, nigga? I could
No, he
never
is
imagine
confused
being
because
friends with them.
He sounds like a whole college graduate right now.
No, my problem is what is he?
An idiot. He's an idiot. That's what we call him, idiot. You're talking about if you got 6 children on child support. One, most states regulate that to a certain amount anyway. Number 2, why is she getting? This is the reason why women are stupid to me. If this guy has 2 baby mamas, why do you want to be number 3, 4, and 5? Oh, because you all chase Johnny Gooddick. Just admit it. Oh,
Or
you
just have a
like his
baby by
light up.
him.
You like, huh?
Or have a baby by him.
What do you think Johnny Gooddick is?
Well, that and the genetics. Fair enough.
So you're chasing. They don't like to be honest about this shit.
Friends who are black men do not. None of that. None of that. Y'all niggas is weak pussy. Period. It does not matter what you do as a black man. There will always be somebody there to coddle you, to hold you, to baby you, because overall,
really? So who coddled you then, sir?
Everybody sees black men as nothing more than
no one. That's the point he's projecting.
That is why black women are so masculine.
Oh god.
Oh,
because they don't.
Maybe he talked about himself. I mean,
trust that the black man can just be a fucking man. All they want to do is play. They want to play basketball and play football and play PlayStation. And then the niggas who actually persevere.
You goddamn right. I do. I admit it. I ain't scared. I admit it. Problem. It sounds like you upset. What you don't like? You don't like my lifestyle? Sorry. Problem.
I cannot categorize it. It's like a liberal, gay, conservative, Christian, high educated, pookie lame. Like I cannot. It's like he's shooting out all directions, just babbling.
He's one with the simp force.
One movement I never got was the passport bros, because I used to sit there and think about it. And overall, a CIA agent that like I fuck with, as far as one of his interviews, proceeded to say like, when you're American and you go over to other countries, a lot of people in those countries see you as opportunity. You know, they might assume that you have all this money. And overall, they might be trying to get up out that motherfucker. So with this whole thing about like y'all going to look for wives, like bro, she's not fucking with you because she actually likes you. She sees you as like, damn, I could possibly get out this country. Damn, he must have some money on him. So whole time I'm gonna set his ass up. So my thing is, why are you thinking?
And what the fuck are we getting out the women here?
From a place of poverty.
What's the difference? That's my question.
Number one, I'm not taking advice from nigga with a struggle beard. I'm like, what are we getting here? You got women out there who purposely will get pregnant with you. And I said, look, to have a kid or get married right now is a fool's errand. And I'm sorry. Like, I asked one chick, would you tell your fucking son to get married in this fucking culture? And she was like, no. I said, would you? No. I said, so why do y'all ask men to do the same shit you wouldn't want your son to do? And here's the sad part. You wouldn't even say shit to y'all sons, but you teach your daughters how to manipulate men. And you wonder why your men want to get away.
Yep.
Passport Bro should have a Southwest Airlines commercial. Have a fat ass black woman yelling, trying to get away.
You might get.
It ain't a woman in this world that wouldn't kill to hear a man say, I got you, and actually follow through with it. So when you hear all these women say, yo, I don't need a man, man ain't this, man ain't that, it's because at some point in her life, she depended on a man to say, I got you, and he ain't come through.
And why is that our problem? Why is that our problem?
And somebody tell anti-swag Santa. That is such a bullshit level.
Can I get an amen?
She was hoping that somebody would say, I got you, so that she wouldn't have to cross over into that masculinity role that she plays so well. That masculinity role that some of us men fall depression from every year.
Yes.
Why is he lying? It is so. It's a man that would like to fuck as a one selector, yeah, I got you, and they're fucked up. All the rest of the men that don't like to fuck said, I got you, and actually did the shit and never get anything out of it. Why is he lying?
Y'all not gonna like what I'm finna say, but guess what? I'm still finna say it.
Say it then.
I'm going to tell you why these women are single. Some of you might get offended by what I'm about to say, but it needs to be said. The reason why women are single is because they choose to be. And they choose to be single because a lot of you guys don't know how to treat them right. 95% of y'all are not even dateable. Y'all don't have anything to offer to a woman other than a headache. You can't even do the bare minimum. Like, I'm surprised most of you can even tie a shoe.
Oh my.
I'm going to tell you why these.
We're so hurt. We can't tie a shoe. My ass cheeks, but okay.
Man, I'm so tired of closeted guys talking, because only closeted guys would say 95%. That is the number of men who do not want to fuck as a man.
Oh.
Because the marriage numbers alone is higher than 95%.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Detroit 313. Yet they're crying about Trump. Yeah.
Or what's Captain Obvious said? No. Captain Obvious after that.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm on dude in the blue shirt is is in the hostage video. That's funny. Yeah, just like that, the master teacher has poof and disappeared. But anyway.
Now, because he's just
get offended by what I'm about to say, but it needs to be said. The reason why women are single is because they choose to be. And they choose to be single because a lot of.
So guys will complain that women are emotional, but then they'll make emotional decisions out of their anger and out of their ego. Like, we got to do better.
Oh, boy.
So
I promise you, if I had $1 for every time I heard a man make this comment right here, man, I'm glad I don't got no daughters. Man, I'm glad I don't got no sisters, man, because I probably would have caught a case long time ago. That right there, if you are a man and you've made that comment before, that's basically an admission.
Okay, I've had enough of the simp soliloquies for one day. Good Lord. But yeah, then they're crying about Trump, but anyway. You got awfully quiet.
No, sorry, it's just like focusing on something else.
No, why is they crying about Trump? What did Trump do now?
Nothing. He just do what he said. He pretty much did what he said he's gonna do. You negotiate with the tariffs and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to renegotiate so America can get some fairer deals with stuff, and it's all part of the process, part of the sausage
No,
making.
let him cook. Even like I said before he got elected, or after he got elected. I think after. I love Trump because he's an accelerationist. Basically, he kickstarted some things that, in the long run, is not so good. But man, at least he stays to his word. That's why I say he's an accelerationist, because he says things and he does it. Even if it is in the short term it's not good, in the long run maybe not, but in the middle it can help.
Yeah.
I believe someone, Snake Man, I believe someone once described him as a political arsonist. That's one way to look at him.
He's not a political arsonist. He's just very direct. And you must understand, if your political scene is full of schemers, because schemers are political arsonists, because they burn their own plan down to the ground just to scheme.
Yeah. We got a lot of those in Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, because he's just consolidating Americans' power. That is all. Like everyone who was not prepared for that move by Trump as a state, like as a other state, was literally sleeping in the clouds. Oh, we have a man who does what he says, and he says, and in his last election cycle, he said a lot of things, and now he does the things, but we were not prepared. Even we had over 4 years to prepare for it.
Yeah. Shout out to Lap SWAT 1. Can somebody read that for me, please?
I got it. Thank you for the $5 holler, LAPD SWAT 1. He says, I think I'm going to have spring wholesale for the Van Jones Crying Dolls 2.0 edition.
Oh my God.
Colonel F are still looking at the USCG PSU reserve units.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
Colonel Faulkner, are you still looking at the USCG PSU reserve units?
What is that?
Sounds military. Like a military thing. It's a military thing.
Yeah, let's have a little fun here. This is a fun little skit.
What? How the fuck am I supposed to know that? Bro, I fucking love that droid. Something better not have happened. Where is R2? What? How the fuck am I supposed to know that? Bro, I fucking love that droid. Something better not have happened to it. Well, Wait, is he still on Mustafar? Hang on, R2. How do you work these stupid links? Lord Vader, you must... Hold on. Why can't I feel my penis? What happened to my penis? What did you do to my penis? It seems in your anger, you lost the penis? That doesn't make any sense. That wasn't even one of the limbs I got cut off. How am I supposed to make love to my wife? Yeah, about that. What? Where is...
Anyway.
Yeah, Luke got cooked, literally.
Oh, here's a fun one.
Exactly. They messing with these DL men and then acting like they coming online to do you a service to tell you what to look out for when it comes to DL men. The reality of it is they ain't no different than when a woman come to another woman as a woman, right? Is she really coming to you as a woman because she's so concerned that you and her messing with the same man and she just wants you to know what's going on? No, she's coming to you as a woman because she's ready to try to eliminate competition. She is hoping that if she tells you that she also messing with him, that you'll back down and then she can have him, right? It's the same idea with this, right? They messing with these DL men in hopes of these DL men coming out the closet and actually being in real relationships with them. And when they don't get what they want, now they online telling you what to look out for in DL men.
Black man in America is the only male on earth, including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation. That's true.
Black men are the most disappointing pieces of shit in the world. Instead of being a man, they'd rather be a woman.
I'm happy we're finally addressing the elephant in the room about how black men can't read and write.
A lot of black men be talking about how y'all want stay-at-home wives. Y'all can't afford stay-at-home wives. Y'all can't even pay the whole rent by yourself.
Foreign men will treat you better, okay? Black men, I just think we as a collective need to stay away from them.
Women all over the world, listen to me. Stop having babies with black men.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's play that one more time, but I'm gonna do something a little special with this one.
Earth.
I'm gonna do something a little special. Let me see if I can find this picture though. Do something a little special here. Where's this picture at? I know I haven't deleted off of. No, that's not it. I think this is it. Ah, yeah, that's the picture I'm looking for. Now let's play this again.
Including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation.
That's true. Black men are the most disappointing pieces of shit in the world. Instead of being a man, they'd rather be a woman.
I'm happy we're finally addressing the elephant in the room about how black men can't read and write.
A lot of black men be talking about how y'all want stay-at-home wives. Y'all can't afford stay-at-home wives. Y'all can't even pay the whole rent by yourself.
Foreign men will treat you better, okay? Black men, I just think we as a collective need to stay away from them.
Women all over the world, listen to me. Stop having babies with black men. If you want children, that's fine. But if you want somebody to help you with your children, my suggestion would not be
nothing personally, but do black women now? That's a question. Do black women in America not realize that any other group literally don't give two fucks what they're saying?
No,
Like
I don't think.
straight,
No, Snake Man. I
like,
don't think. I don't think they have a clue. You can see it
like
when
straight up.
you can see it when these chicks go overseas. They get a totally rude awakening on how men actually operate.
Now because because I always it's just what I noticed. You never had those discussions, but on the African channel, sometimes some of the American women actually come over there, and we straight up say to them, "We really don't give a fuck what you're saying. Like we don't care. We don't care. You can talk, nothing against it, but straight up, what you say is in the ear comes in one ear in and then 1 year out.
Completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, but a lot of them don't get it, and it shows.
They
every
don't
day.
care.
Yeah, they don't care.
They just want to do whatever they
Look
think
at,
they
look
want.
at
They think they're
that.
entitled.
Where did that heifer go? Pakistan.
Mm-hmm. She finally back in the U.S.
Yeah, she they brought her crazy ass back to the U.S., but she went over to
Yeah.
Pakistan to because she catfished a boy into marrying her.
And he was trying to actually catfish her too, because he was trying to catfish on a green card scam. From what I understand.
Oh, okay. So they both got what they deserve, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you got South Asia, you got like everybody has this obsession with white women in many of these countries because they're hoping, like, you get out of there.
I keep that picture for a reason. Shout out to them young men that I just showed.
And their fathers.
Yes.
Their fathers taught them right, and they told them, listen, find yourself someone who's going to respect you and everything. Like now, more than likely, those relationships are probably not going to work out. They ended or something like that. But those are high school kids, those high school sweethearts. That's a high school prom.
Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Not because this picture is something because I'm maybe because of my German being raised German. I only say if you want to make an argument, at least bring some kind of fact or some kind of example for your basis, because I don't see black women having this type of discussion with other groups.
No, they don't
at all.
They don't care. You have
Like
to understand,
as though they're just talking out of the neck.
It's this sense of entitlement that they have, but you have to understand the history of black people in America. But this doesn't just also apply.
Entitlement.
Yeah, but it's not just in the United States, Snake Man. This also, you see this throughout the Caribbean and among Afro Latinos.
I mean, I see it too in Germany, but it's mostly like a second or third generation, and we don't actually deal with those people. Like they get kicked out of the group.
I mean, I have cousins, many of them throughout Europe and everything, and many of them and some of them are actually in interracial relationships, happily married.
I mean, that's the point, to get married. Like, it doesn't really matter which one.
Yeah, they're happily married, most of them. They're married and everything's okay. It works out. I mean, I got a chance to FaceTime one of them and meet their kids and everything. And that was cool. But there are those who are married to women of their own ilk, of our ilk, and they're happy. They're content because they understand what is required of them because they were trained to be wives. You don't see that type of culture or belief in many folks nowadays, especially with the breakdown of families and dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so in the U.S. To a lesser extent, Canada, but you also see similar views in the Caribbean, Latin America.
Nah, because like I said, I had some detectors coming in, and like sometimes I don't know that we are
Sorry,
not
what was that
American
word?
men.
Could you repeat that word?
Detractors. Like,
Oh, excuse me. Your accent threw me off.
yeah, I'm sorry. But they sometimes don't know that we are not American black men, and said to try to tell us, yo, black American women are loved by the Arabs. And I thought to myself, you're speaking to African continentals here. We know how the Arabs are.
Mm-hmm.
And after she realized that, she shut the fuck up and went away. And I thought to myself, are they always lying? Like straight up lying all the time?
Speaking of lying, we have another fun run here. On this one's pretty interesting because this one she's accusing of Zaddy.
Both of y'all have red hair. Y'all got the same nose, the same lips.
Are you surprised that Kanisha married a woman? No. Well, she's here, Candace.
Wait a minute.
She's going to tell you.
What hair?
She's been doing your job. Candace, come on out.
Hey, so baby, you need to stop playing. You need to stop playing. Jamie is yours. Y'all look just alike.
Candace, what's it like being a father?
It's tough. I'm a girl. I
Oh my gosh, really?
can't teach him the things he need to do to be a man.
You have no
Yeah, no shit.
doubts that he's the father.
I have no doubts. I'm 1,000% sure that
There's a couple of dudes we need up in here, but they're already asleep.
And Kanisha struggled over this. Is that right?
Yes, she cried. She cried at night.
I'll try to play it next
every
week,
night.
Gamer.
I can't be a man to my son like you're supposed to do.
But you coming off sounding like one. You look like a man.
She says she swore off men. Is that right, Kanisha?
I can't deal with men anymore. No more. I'm done.
Oh, boy.
For good, for life, forever. I got my wife. I'm good with her.
Uh-huh.
Well, we might as well
Translation: Don't another man want to put up with her stupid ass.
find out what the result is. Okay, everybody.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
In the case of 2-year-old Javian, Adam, you are not the father.
Uh-oh, we got
In the pump station. They look just alike.
We'll be glad to bring anybody on the show that you want, but he's not the father.
Oh boy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He just walked the fuck out because he look at pause for pause for a minute.
We already saw that anyway, but go ahead.
Yeah, he just walked the fuck out. He just walked the fuck out. He said, I don't want to deal any more of this shit. Because remember, it's humiliating for him.
Yeah.
About him taking my wife, that's nothing, Your Honor. What it boils down to is the pain and the anguish of this man in my face, in my business, asking my wife to fix him some chitlins, Your Honor. Your Honor, this man has his own life. He has his own. Why ask my wife to fix? And I cussed him out on the phone, Your Honor. I told the man, I said, man, you're not getting nothing from him. This man not only
it's amusing that he's saying that his wife, they got into all of this because the man asked his wife to cook him some chitlins. That's amusing.
Do you know how hard it is?
Pretty.
Chitlins takes time.
Oh boy.
No!
Yeah.
What are chitlins exactly?
Pig intestines.
Okay, I'm glad I don't eat pork.
Yep. Yeah, they're pig intestines, so yeah.
You gotta wash them chitlins, man.
Tell me about it.
I remember, was it Anthony Hamilton and his boys, the Hamiltons? With
Okay, guys, I have to go to a cookout, so have a nice day.
All right.
Hey, have a beautiful Sunday.
Peace out.
Have a good Sunday, dude. And Charles disappeared. I think Charles will be back.
Yeah,
Unless he
I'm
has
about
to go
to
get
shut
some
down.
cigars. Yeah, you better shut down right now.
Yep.
Well, can you wait until it hits 3:16? Because I need to get a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wait till it's 3:16. Then you can say it. About 35 more seconds.
Oh.
Well, AB, appreciate you having me up.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
I would like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.